Great show lined up here in front of us tonight. I don't know if you heard that first part. I have no idea. We're getting situated here. We are getting situated. James Go here with you. We're going to take you all the way till the 10 o'clock hour. Great show lineup in front of us here tonight. Obviously, we're going to be getting you Dodger updates and Dodger postgame. Man, we got a straight-up pitcher's duel happening there in Atlanta. And third game in a row where it is just tight. I mean, tight between Atlanta and the Dodgers.
Dodger baseball.
Yoshi Yamamoto, Chris Sale. These boys are dealing. I mean, dealing. Yamamoto just got pulled. Jack Dreyer is in there. But Yoshi Yamamoto, 6 1/3, 1 earned. And again, that earned leadoff home run, 8 strikeouts, just 4 hits. Chris Sale has been absolutely immaculate. 4 hits through 7 innings and 9 strikeouts. No earned runs, no walks. Dealing. Right now, 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th with the Braves, who have 2 on. Again, we are getting you ready here for Rams football. I'm really excited about this preseason game. Look, there's not going to be that much to glean. There's not going to be that much information to glean. I think we'll learn more. We're going to learn, I will say this, we'll learn nothing in regards to the Rams. But we will learn, maybe, potentially, a little something in regards to the Chargers offense. It's interesting. The Chargers have a lot of preseason hype and buzz right now because they got both their tackles back in Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. And again, they bring in Mike McDaniel. They're graduating to what pretty much everyone in football thinks is a better offense. Going from Greg Roman to Mike McDaniel, they're going to play more up-tempo. Speed and tempo have been a big point of emphasis for the Chargers. And yet, I don't think we've really seen... Look, when they've been on television, we haven't really seen anything good. Right? Offensively, they look not great. I mean, even their backups, it just doesn't... Nothing looks like it's clicking. You know what I mean? Now, preseason can be a big-time liar. There might just be things that they're working on that, again, they're just working on things. Right? But we haven't seen anything yet. 2 series anticipated here for the Chargers tonight, so we'll learn a little bit more about Chargers football. We'll learn absolutely nothing about the Rams. The Rams aren't going to throw their guys out there practically at all. Maybe we learn something about the backup quarterback situation. That's about it. Stetson Bennett, Ty Simpson. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, now, all that being said, I'm really excited. We got a chance to talk to J.B. Long, Rams radio voice, earlier this afternoon. You'll be hearing from him in the next segment. Also, a lot of controversy surrounding comedian Drewski right now. The internet personalities right now, man, I'll tell you what, internet personalities right now, the people be getting mad at him. You think about Drewski? He came out with a new CTE skit that is drawing a lot of ire from former players. They don't find it funny they don't find it funny at all. And Good, the golf influencers, they were in charge of a marketing campaign for Callaway, a new Callaway driver, and that went horribly. It went so bad that they were going to sponsor at a PGA event, and guess what? That's going bye-bye too. It has gone, Callaway dumped Good, and it is just going south in a hurry. But I want to start the day and the show, obviously talking about Rams. The Rams trade for Tutu Atwell. Are the Rams preparing for a Puka Nacua suspension? This is the funny thing. The Rams trade backup running back Jarquez Hunter, who I'm going to talk about here in a little bit because I was surprised by the trade. Surprised and not surprised. But the Rams traded Jarquez Hunter, who was a 4th-round pick just last year, to bring back in Tutu Atwell. Tutu, this is the funny thing. Half of y'all listening didn't even know Tutu Atwell was off the team. Let's be real. Let's be real. Half of y'all listening were like, wait, Tutu wasn't on the Rams? Like, how are you going to trade for a player who's already on your team? He has been gone from the Rams for all of I think he's been off the team for 4 months. He's been down there in South Beach practicing with the Miami Dolphins, and the Rams traded for him. That's crazy. That is wild. I'm serious, man. Half of y'all listening did not know. I'll tell you this, 90% of y'all did not care that Tutu Atwell was off of the Rams. But now he's coming back home, baby. Welcome back, Tutu. I just wonder, man, hey, listen, the warning bell's going off. Look, I know the Rams, they've got some guys now. Kanata Mumfield, you got Jordan Whittington. CJ Daniels has been making some noise in the preseason. By the way, I really like Jordan Whittington. But they go and make this move for Tutu Atwell. And if you weren't familiar, Tutu Atwell actually signed a 1-year, $1.4 million deal this offseason to play for the Dolphins. In the year prior, he had a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Rams. This is why, he's played his entire career with the Rams, but signed a 1-year, $1.4 million deal to go to Miami. I'm not going to say that Les Snead dropped the ball on that contract, but let me tell you something. That contract was, looking back, was not good. Looking back, that Tutu Atwell contract was one of the worst in the NFL, if we're being real, despite the fact that it was a 1-year, $10 million. So low cost, low risk, which is fine. But even then, it was still bad. You want to know why? Tutu Atwell had 15 targets and 6 receptions for 192 receiving yards last year. He did have 1 touchdown. If you break that down, this is what's crazy, dude. He got paid $1.67 million per catch last year. 1.67 million buckaroos per catch last year. That's pretty good. 6 receptions for 192 yards. When they did throw to Tutu, it was, it's deep downfield. This guy was just running go routes all day long. He's 5'9", 165 pounds, bro. He was averaging 32 yards per reception last year, which is outrageous. If you guys are not familiar with yards per reception, let me tell you something. 15 per reception, that's really good. 18, that's like top of the league. 32 yards per reception is out of control. It's wild. It's crazy. But that being said, that's what his role was, right? He was playing as an outside receiver. Football people call him a sacrificial X receiver because he's playing outside and he has no role other than to just play for the love of the game. He's getting a lot of cardio out there. My dude Tutu was out there just running go routes, 9 routes all day long, clearing out safeties so that guys like Puka Nacua could eat underneath, right? Like you clear out them safeties. And again, the meta right now in the NFL is the cover 2. You got those 2 high safeties, right? So you got to clear one safety out of the way. And that's why that was Tutu's job. Get that safety out of there. And then you're going to have Puka Nacua either, running an out or maybe running a dig. But you're doing something, Tutu is, to get that safety out of there, and then Matt Stafford just flying that football, flinging it either to the sideline on an out route or cutting back inside on that dig for Puka Nacua. Right? And so, again, when you take a look at it from a football perspective, you say to yourself, okay, the depth chart for LA, I guess they needed another X They needed another guy who could play outside and shift those safeties away because, look, Davante Adams can do that, but obviously he's lost a lot of speed. All right, so you got to get somebody just out there where the safeties are really stressed. And that is certainly going to be somebody like Tutu Atwell. Meanwhile, like I said, my radar is peaked, though, because they didn't need Tutu Atwell, certainly. And the fact that they're giving up on a 4th-round draft pick from just last year. By the way, an explosive player out of Auburn was Jarquez Hunter. You look at that running back room, and guys, there's just not a lot of explosiveness in that backfield. Like, I love Kyron, you love Kyron, everyone loves Kyron. Kyron is about as dependable as it gets. I just charted Kyron Williams. Was truly, honestly, the most reliable running back in the NFL, in my opinion. What do I mean by that? Because you give him the rock, and he is going to get you what you block and just a little bit more. He was one of the lowest explosive run rates. He had one of the lowest explosive run rates last year. And I consider an explosive run to be at least 10 yards. Extremely low explosive run rate. Also had a really extremely low tackle breaking rate. Was not a good tackle breaker. But I tell you what, man, if there is nothing on the line, like there's no space at all, Kyron's still getting you 3. Did a great job doing that. You give him a little bit of space, he's picking up 5. You give him a little bit more space, he's picking up 8. But that's about it. But he kept the offense on track. He was a credible weapon and a threat around the goal line. Nah, man, listen, Kyron's a super-duper solid player. Blake Corum, super-duper solid player. But I don't think Ronnie Rivers, again, when Sean McVay was talking about Ronnie Rivers, trusting Ronnie Rivers, I think you like Ronnie Rivers out of the backfield, catch the football and all those kind of things. But, again, listen, man, not an explosive player. So none of these guys, I think they're all really reliable. None of them are explosive. That's why I was extremely surprised to see the Rams move on from Jarquez Hunter. I'm like, wow, really? Really? That being said, he wasn't a special teams guy. And if you're going to be running back number 3, if you're going to be the 3rd string running back on this team, you got to play special teams, period. Otherwise, you're a practice squad dude, unfortunately. But bringing back in Tutu Atwell, I mean, listen, my radar was a little peaked. I don't know about y'all. I mean, again, I know this is the unofficial conspiracy theory show, but my interest was a little piqued because I'm like, Puka's under investigation. I mean, again, there's like, Puka allegedly biting girls out there. Man, you saw the pictures, man. I don't know if you saw the pictures, but if you did see the pictures, these are some weird, freaky photos, man. There's some weird, freaky photos. Big old bite mark on a girl's back, allegedly, from Puka, allegedly. I think that's in a civil suit right now, not criminal, civil. But again, could a suspension be handed down for that? I don't know. It just got my radar going, that's all. Just want to bring that up. They trade for Tutu. Seems and by the way, this late in the offseason program, I don't know, it seems a little odd to me, man. Doesn't seem odd to you? You don't see trades like this happen that often. Let me just say that. Unless, again, like, for example, in Houston, they had an injury to Jaden Higgins, and they made a trade for a wide receiver. And so that makes sense, right? They brought in Kayshon Boutte from New England. Kayshon Boutte was going to be like a 4th string, 3rd string, 4th string wide receiver. They made that move. Okay, great. Okay, that makes sense, but this Rams team, man, they're pretty much set at every position now. There was no major injuries. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, a move this late in the offseason, or you know what it could be too? Sean McVay just must, dude, this guy must love. He must love Tutu Atwell. I mean, he must be in love with this guy, man. Again, they definitely reached and overdrafted Tutu Atwell. Okay? But And then on top of that, they gave him a $10 million deal just last year. When you saw what the market really was like 1 or 2 million buckaroos, and the Rams were like, you know what, bro, we love you. Let's give you $10 million. We're going to pay you $1.7 million per catch next year. Second round draft pick, Tutu Atwell. Not good. Was not good. But yeah, listen, he is back now with the Rams. Puka is facing a possible suspension. Devontae Adams is 33. From a schematic standpoint, can I say this about Tutu Atwell as well? Like I said, he's the guy that's clearing out space on the outside, even though he is like 160 pounds. You know what I'm saying? All these other guys that they've got on the roster, to me, they don't really line up. They're not really outside X receivers, really. Jordan Whittington is a very tough, rugged slot guy. Kanata Mumfield I don't think he's got the speed. CJ Daniels is like a contested catch dude as well. So, I don't know, man. I just thought this was an interesting move. I just want to throw that out there. Thought it was a really interesting move. Mostly because what does this mean for Puka Nacua? Meanwhile, like I said, Jarquez Hunter is an explosive runner. They've got Kyron, they've got Corum, they've got Ronnie Rivers. And then they move on from Jarquez Hunter, who I thought was going to be a critical. I thought he was going to push Blake Corum for the RB2 job, to be honest with you. Man, again, I love Sean McVay, and I have said this before on this very program, but Sean McVay is ice cold, man. He is a stone cold, he is Bill Belichick with a great smile. You know? He is Bill Belichick with energy and charisma. That's Sean McVay. And what do I mean by that? Bill Belichick is known as just a ruthless head coach. Ruthless. I mean, think about the way Sean McVay handled the trade of Jared Goff. That was his guy. That's his guy. They used to hang out. That was his dude. They were both out there dating IG models. You know what I mean?
How do you do?
That's what they do. They were boys. Kicked him to the curb. Traded him for Matt Stafford. Didn't even talk to him. Didn't even give him the heads up. Nope. Jared Goff had to find out. I think Jared Goff found out through social media or something, man. That's crazy. And you think about the history of running backs, too. But that is Sean McVay's MO, man. Like, once he is done with you, he is done with you. That's it. You've got no consideration in his world. Zero. And I really think about like how he has treated, running backs. If you look at the running backs after Todd Gurley, but before Kyron Williams, Sony Michel was decent. Not great, but decent. Was a reliable contributor for the Rams. But at one point, they were going with Cam Akers. At one point, they were going with Darrell Henderson. Y'all remember those names? Cam Akers. There was a point where he was a healthy scratch, and they just traded him. They're like, all right, cool. We're done with you. Peace. Trade you away. Darrell Henderson was shockingly cut. He was like a starter 1 week. 2 weeks later, he's off the team. There is no patience given to players that don't buy into the system. There's no patience given. It doesn't matter if you're a starter. You could be a starter 1 week at running back and cut from the team the week later. That literally happened. I mean, you could be an incredibly important running back one season, and the next season, healthy scratch, traded away. That literally happened. So, I don't know, man. Like, this is not new, by the way, what he is doing here with Jarquez Hunter. Not new at all. Transitioning to the Dodgers here. Shohei Ohtani. Check this out.
Shohei Ohtani. Check this out.
Check this out. Dude, Shohei Ohtani may pitch on Sunday. New reports.
What?
Shohei Ohtani may pitch on Sunday. That's pretty good.
What?
I'm excited about this, man. Hey, listen, on Friday, that's tomorrow, as the Dodgers are prepping for the Tigers, Shohei Ohtani will throw another bullpen session, according to reports. And Dave Roberts said Ohtani could start Sunday's series finale against the Tigers if that goes well. The expectation is that he would throw only in the first inning, with Tyler Glasnow following him. The Glasnow sound is pretty good, dude. You know what, though? Don't P, man, we might have to retire that, bro. Like, I'm telling you, he looked good. He looked good in his outing. This is a good chance, a good opportunity for him to follow up.
I know
on the basically a starter. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, we might have to get rid of it.
Yeah, we'll take a look, man. We'll see.
Maybe we can give it to someone else.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Who's eligible right now?
Oh, listen, dude. Edwin Diaz needs it. I think, yeah, that's a good Edwin Diaz sound right there.
My neck.
Yeah. You know? That's more than the neck, because that's a phantom injury. You know? It's just more like he takes the mound and he looks at a batter and then he says, then he gives up a hit and he says, then he gives up a run and he says, yeah, that's Edwin Diaz, bro. Shohei Ohtani update, though. Okay.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani update.
Dodger baseball.
Again, he's going to take a bullpen session. And Dave Roberts says Ohtani could potentially start on Sunday. And by start, using the air quotes, because I guess he's going to get one inning. And I thought it was interesting, too, because according to the reports, that right there, that setup, is a potential preview of how the Dodgers might use both Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
A potential preview of how the Dodgers, the team, would use Shohei in the postseason. And again, the report that I read said that Glasnow would follow. I don't know, man. I think Dave Roberts would probably consider, okay, we're going to get 3 innings of Shohei, and then we'll get, 4 innings of Roki, and then we go to the bully unless, conspiracy theory, unless they make Roki the new closer. How about that? I haven't seen anybody talk about that yet, but I think it's possible. I mean, with as bad as Tanner Scott has been, back-to-back losses, he's got 5 losses on the year, and he's got 2 blown saves. You never want that number to be 10, and he's already at 7 with, a month to go. And we already know, I talk about the scar tissue of Tanner Scott from last year, double-digit blown saves. Edwin Diaz is an absolute mess right now. He's on the IL with they should just say mental health. That's what it should be. By the way, that should be a designation. I feel like there should be a 10-day IL mental health designation. And I'm only saying that half joking. I think that's real. I think that's a real thing, especially for ball players. Because, dude, it's lonely. It's a very one-on-one game. It's a little lonely, bro. I'm only 15% joking. I'm 85% serious. They should have a mental health designation for the IL. I do. I think that would be all right.
A lot of them are going through it, and only a select few of them actually say something about it and be public about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Jarren Duran of the Red Sox was the latest, I think, that was pretty public about it.
And by the way, that most ball players have to come up with these phantom injuries like Edwin Diaz. Everyone knows it's fake. Everyone knows a fake injury, bro. Everyone knows. I don't know, but I thought it's interesting and really illuminating that that they are, again, hinting at, and we kind of figured this with Ohtani, right? Okay, we kind of figured it. Hey, man, let's step away. When we come back, I'm going to give you a Dodgers update. I was trying to stretch here because we're in the top half of the ninth. The last chance here for the Dodgers. We'll give you an update on Dodger baseball on the backside of this break.
Dodger baseball.
Express! What is cracking? It's your boy, James Coe. Appreciate everyone jumping in tonight. Man, we have... What a game we got over here, man.
Dodger baseball.
Dodgers and Braves. There was a potential double play. Had to get reviewed. I have ranted about this before. Baseball replay is the worst in the business. I have never seen a good replay. I mean, for critical moments. By the way, it's very telling that when they go to the OBS, or the ABS rather,
Yeah.
it's like they have to use the virtual one, you know?
Yeah.
Heaven forbid they actually give you like a play, like an actual video replay. Okay, so now the game is over. Wow. The Braves sweep the Dodgers, winning by 1 run in 3 consecutive games. This is 3 consecutive 1-run losses by the Dodgers, man. What an absolute... This one was a great game. Yoshi Yamamoto and Chris Sale, absolute throwback, classic pitcher's duel. Chris Sale, brilliant. 11 strikeouts in a complete game shutout. 5 hits, no walks. Dodgers had no chance. Chris Sale mowing them down. I say no chance, but also at the same time, this lineup did not do well. Shohei Ohtani 0 for 4. We're keeping an eye on the 2-hole. Guess what? Edman 0 for 3. Tough. There is an argument to be made, by the way, that the 2-hole for the Dodgers is the worst in all of baseball. The last I checked, when I looked last night, and by the way, I gave this information to Bill Reiter, who put me in on this. It's like a collaboration because he put me onto this stat, and then I went hunting for the stat. All right. So according to Fangraphs, the Dodgers 2-hole hitter has the lowest OPS in baseball compared to any other team's 2-hole hitter. And again, I know they moved the lineup around, but I'm saying in aggregate, when the production from the 2-hole is arguably the worst in baseball, not bottom 5, not bottom, the worst. They are dead last in OPS. Dead last in OPS out of the 2-hole of all major league ball clubs. Think about that for a second, man. That's crazy. And Shohei Ohtani 0 for 4. Tommy Edman, my guy, Tommy Tank Hyunsu Edman. His name just keeps getting longer. It's fine. 0 for 3 today. Mookie Betts. By the way, Tommy Edman 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. Good night. Woof. That's not good. By the way, Shohei Ohtani struck out 2 times in his 4 ABs. How about that? Like I said, man, Chris Sale he was on one today. Meanwhile, Mookie Betts, basically the only offense at all, 2 for 4, hitting out the 3-hole. Freddie Freeman 1 for 4 in the cleanup spot. Miguel Rojas, I thought he played pretty well. Good defense, also 1 for 4 from the dish. No Kyle Tucker today, was only in there as a pinch runner. Alex Call 0 for 3. Kike Hernandez 0 for 3. And Ben Rortvedt 1 for 3 as well. The only run all game, the only one all game, leadoff home run. First at bat, first batter of the game, Drake Baldwin cranks one out for his 22nd home run of the year. So, man, Yoshi pitched his heart out. Jack Dreyer came in, 2/3 of an inning clean. Enriquez came in, clean inning, struck out the side. But they could not overcome Chris Sale. By the way, let me put some of these numbers out here for you, okay? 8 innings pitched for the Dodgers in total. 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, and a walk with 11 strikeouts. Nearly identical stat line to Chris Sale, who pitched a complete game shutout, if you're just joining us, with 11 strikeouts of his own. He had 5 base hitters. The Dodgers had 5 base hitters. The only difference was, base runners, rather. The only difference was the Braves were able to get that leadoff home run. That's nuts, man. That is nuts. So, again, 3rd consecutive 1-run loss for the Dodgers. 855-97 LA Fan. Again, that's 855-97 LA Fan. Let's talk about this loss. I don't even know. Who do you blame for this thing? Is there even a point to blame anybody, or is this just Chris Sale being Chris Sale? Chris Sale turned it up tonight. By the way, 109 pitches. That is wild. Atlanta could have pulled him in the 9th, brought in a closer, and they're like, nope. Chris, go out there. Shut the door. This is old school. You give your guy a chance for a complete game shutout. I love that. I love the fact that Atlanta gave their guy an opportunity to go out there and complete that game for a complete game shutout. I love that. 109 pitches. I tell you what, a lot of managers, they're looking at their ace creeping up on 100 pitches, and they're saying to themselves, you know what, brother? Hey, great job through 8. Let's sit you down. Let's bring in the closers. You know what I mean? This was an old school feel. I like it. But this was a great game, though. Another great game, man. Another great game. More controversy in the bottom, or in the top half, or in the bottom half of the 9th. 9th inning drama again. They can't get over the hump. I think more than anything, maybe that's probably the most frustrating part, right? Is the fact that Dodgers cannot seemingly get over the hump on these good teams. Again, listen, we had talked about yesterday how this is a team that is sub 500. I mean, well below 500. Well below 500 against good teams. They are now 6-16 against winning teams since the All-Star break. They are 2-14. 2-14 against Atlanta, Milwaukee, Arizona, Chicago, and Boston over the past month plus.
That's terrible.
How are you thinking about a three-peat? I mean, this is astronomical money being poured into this roster. Astronomical. All-stars everywhere. Cy Youngs everywhere. Don't blame the starting pitching staff. Like I said, starting pitching staff again coming through, 1 earned. Through essentially 7 innings. Come on, man. What more do you want from starting pitching? Yoshi was incredible. Yamamoto was incredible. What more do you want? You absolutely got to get more hitting.
Chris Sale. I mean, Dodgers got Chris Saled tonight.
They did.
They
did.
And when you said the Braves, gave him a chance to let him go finish the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was more of Chris going back to the dugout, telling manager Matt Weiss, yeah, you're not pulling me out of this game, coach.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
And then after he completes the shutout with another strikeout, by the way, ending the game on a strikeout is just that much better for you as a pitcher who's shutting a team down. He strikes out Alex Call on a complete check swing. It looked terrible. It was totally wrapping up the night as far as how the game went in one pitch.
Yeah.
And Chris Sale looked so fired up to shut out the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's the Dodgers. That's what it is, you know?
Yes, and complete the sweep, and his last pitch of the game was 99.
Dude, no way.
His last pitch of the game,
Wow.
99, and that just shows how pumped up he was throughout the whole night. Hit 100 twice for the first time in 8 years against Ohtani.
Wow.
That's ridiculous stuff from Chris Sale, and it just shows how much these teams care about beating the Dodgers.
And by the way, it's not as if the Braves don't have a good closer, right? Like, they've got Reiter, man. Like, Reiter, this guy is the real deal. He's got 28 saves on the year, 2.94 ERA. This guy's the real deal. Like, Reiter is one of the more reliable closers in the game. And they said, nah, dude, listen, you're good, bro. We're throwing Chris Sale out there. 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. All right, we will step away for a moment, but when we come back, we had an opportunity to sit down with Rams play-by-play announcer JB Long, who joined the program for the very first time. You will hear from JB. He will tell us McDonald's or In-N-Out and what is his In-N-Out order. He will tell us give us a little bit of insight on this Tutu Atwell Jarquez Hunter trade. And he will also weigh in on the state of second-year tight end Terrence Ferguson. Stick around. You want to hear this one. That's coming up next.
the games are happening.
Freeman is a home run. Struck him out. The 6th punch out for Sheen.
And the Dodgers, just like that, have a man in scoring position.
Stories are moving.
The Dodgers turn it and win it.
The conversation is about to pop off. This is the James Coe Show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sport.
The pregame kickoff for the Rams and Chargers, I promise you. So that will be good. But I think the topic du jour, the topic at the top of the order right now, is that the Dodgers have lost. Again, they got swept by the Braves. I believe the Braves now are just 2 games back. No, I think 3 games. I think they're 3 games back of the Dodgers for the 2 spot in the postseason. Right now, if I'm correct, I think Milwaukee is in a really good spot to win their ball game. Yeah, they are. Top of the 9th, and they lead 8-2. So that bad boy's over.
Careful now.
Listen, dude, they're playing the Mets. If it was like the Phillies, brother, it's the Mets.
Wow, I hope the Mets come back oh my goodness.
That would be incredible.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, listen, for the Dodgers, that'd be awesome. We'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
Another game that we're keeping an eye on, it's in the NL West. It's Arizona taking on San Francisco. So, again, just a few games that we're keeping an eyeball on here. But, again, man, it's 3 consecutive 1-run losses with, again, more drama in the 9th inning. It's strange how these games have gone in this 3-game sweep, right? Because they're all 1-run losses, but how they got to these one-run losses, it just all feels so different. This time they got, again, great starting pitching. Although I guess, starting pitching, in this series has been up and down. But they got some decent starting pitching. They got great starting pitching tonight. You'd love for that's the thing. You would just love to get to the Atlanta bullpen just a little bit sooner. Or how about just at all? The fact that this Dodger lineup allowed Chris Sale to have a complete game, that's bad, man. And I know Chris Sale was just absolutely hosing guys down, man. I get it. But you got to get after this guy a little bit. Shohei Ohtani and Tommy Edman striking out 5 times at the top of the lineup is tough to see. And I'll tell you what, man, Ohtani's first strikeout was real bad. I mean, he chased a ball that was practically above his head. It was you don't see those at-bats from Shohei. Chris Sale had this guy twisted into a mental pretzel. And that's the thing, too. And I know high-level pitchers talk about this, but it's such a mental game when you're talking about a big-time pitcher taking on a big-time batter. And Chris Sale just understands the psychology of it all. Not only does he have great stuff, but he knows when to throw it and where to throw it. The mental gymnastics that these batters are going through facing Chris Sale is, like I said, man, look, I'm not saying every pitcher can get got. There's just no question, But tonight, Sale was on a different level. And let me just say, Chris Sale coming in basically had a 2 ERA, 2.06, so it's like a flat 2, with a 1.00 whip. The guy's got 177 strikeouts already through 144 innings.
I put the team on my back, dude.
Well, the funny thing is, he really has, though. That's the thing. Chris Sale literally, because you look at the other pitchers, and they're fine. They're fine. But Chris Sale truly, honestly, has been the gem. And he really has, look, 13-9. 13-9 does not encapsulate how good he has been all year long. Crazy. And tonight, man, I am telling you, he was on a different one. At 37 years old, the guy's touching a triple digits? The guy's 37 years old, reaching into the way back machine and hitting triple digits, man. Double P, what was that stat? He hadn't hit triple digits in how long?
8 years.
8 years.
It's a lot of years.
8 years.
I was 14.
I don't need to hear that part. That made me a little sick today. I don't need to hear that. Let me tell you. 8 years ago, I was still old, all right? So I don't need to hear that. Man, that's just wild, though. Chris Sale put the team on his back, for sure. 1-0 shutout, complete game shutout. 11 strikeouts for Chris Sale. He was brilliant. And he had these guys just, guessing up there. The way that Shohei Ohtani was just waving at these pitches, he had no idea what was happening. Chris Sale made Shohei Ohtani, of all people, look out of his depth. How about these at-bats from Tommy Edman? How many times? He got struck out in all 3 of his ABs. He got hit by a pitch as well. But in his 3 ABs, he got struck out. I want to say the last 2 strikeouts, Double P, they might have come on 6 pitches. Edman had no chance. Edman had no idea where the hell the ball was going. No clue. He had absolutely no chance.
His last at-bat his last 2 at-bats? Is that what you said? The last 2?
Yeah, last 2 at-bats.
Last 2 at-bats were both on 3 pitches.
That's crazy.
3-pitch strikeout swinging. And, of course, the last strikeout of the game to Alex Call. 3-pitch strikeout swinging.
where he's brushing 99. Come on, man. Unbelievable. All right, we're prepping you for Rams football as they take on the Chargers. We did sit down with J.B. Long. That interview coming up next.
It's time to get in the huddle.
Past 37 punch waggle help baby dizzy. Trey right closer karate can 12 duo alert booty on one. Right?
On the James Coe Show. 97.1 The Fan.
Yo, yo, yo! What's cracking? James Coe here with you. Earlier this afternoon, we had an opportunity to sit down and talk with the voice of the Rams in J.B. Long. We discussed a number of topics. Here you go. Take a listen. He is a proud Golden Domer who graduated summa cum laude from Notre Dame. You're going to find him calling games on TNT Sports and for Big Ten Network. But for all our fellow Angelinos, most importantly, the man has been covering the Rams for dang near a decade. He has been the voice of the Rams. We are welcoming into the show for the very first time, the great J.B. Long.
James, good to be with you and to wrap up the preseason tonight at SoFi.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man, we appreciate you taking the time, brother. The big news today is that the team brought back Tutu Atwell. Man, Sean McVay can't quit this guy, brother. Bringing back Tutu, what does that tell you about the wide receiver room for L.A.?
Well, I think it's pretty well built out, but the running back room is equally crowded. And Jarquez Hunter had a nice game here at SoFi over the weekend against the Saints, but it was going to be hard for him to find playing time for this team as it's currently constituted again here in 2026. So for someone who may not have made the roster come this weekend to get a player back who has a superpower with his vertical speed, who knows the coach and the system and the quarterback as well as Tutu Atwell does, I think it's a great business move. We'll see how much he impacts winning and how soon. But if he's just kind of your insurance plan for a talented but maybe top-heavy in terms of NFL production and experienced receiver room, it's great to have Tutu backstopping and then also providing, I think, a unique skill set because though Xavier Smith, punt returner, can take the top off the defense, Tutu is now your fastest player on offense.
Man, you talk about Jarquez Hunter. I tell you what, man, I love this guy's game coming out of Auburn. I thought he's a perfect inside zone fit for what Sean McVay does in L.A. But that being said, Coach McVay recently was talking up his guy Ronnie Rivers, man. So I think a lot of folks, myself included, saw that as a sign that last year's fourth rounder in Hunter was maybe potentially on the cut line. JB, you've been around this team a lot. How was Hunter's preseason going, and what was the reaction around the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're reading those tea leaves correctly. It was unfortunate that he didn't put up big numbers as a rookie, but for the Rams, it was a very healthy sign because they got 2 full seasons out of Kyron and Blake. And Ronnie is a third piece to that puzzle who's a core special teamer, and the word that Sean leans on is trust. You got to be able to clean up the pocket for him before you can take a handoff, and that's something that Ronnie has done for several years. And so from Jarquez's standpoint, if he couldn't break through as a core special teamer, if he couldn't get ahead of Ronnie in that regard, if he couldn't demonstrate his ability to be a plus pass protector, then it was going to be hard to find his way to a helmet on game day. That's just the reality of how well built out this roster and particularly this offense is right now in Los Angeles. So you hate to see a draft pick not make it to year 2. I get that. But again, the strategy, I think, is sound, and I can understand why the Rams were willing to make this deal as we come up on cut day.
Wide receiver-wise, look, I love Jordan Whittington out of Texas, tough, gritty, big slot guy. I thought he was perfect for what Sean McVay likes from his wide receiver. C.J. Daniels out of Miami making some preseason noise here as well. But other than Puka and Devontae, what other Rams receivers have impressed you in this preseason?
Well, Les Snead likes to talk about forming a basketball team in terms of not just getting a group together, but getting a group together that fits together and makes sense. And I think you saw that in its best form last year, even as the Rams deployed more tight ends. Puka unlocked the end zone, got to double-digit tight end, should have been the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. Devontae Adams, despite missing a handful of games, comfortably led the league in touchdown receptions. So he's your red zone weapon. He can still win against press coverage. Whittington is a big physical year 3 guy who I think is in a position to have a career year. But again, if he doesn't, it's probably a good sign for the health and well-being of the Rams receiving core. Kanate Mumfield is someone that Devontae himself is very high on. He's not just his backup. He's his protege and could be in line for a productive year 2 as well. And then Xavier Smith, who we've talked about already, is not just secure in his return job despite the mistakes in the NFC Championship game last year, but he was a 300-plus yard receiver for the Rams. And so I think until this Tutu Atwell move, he was going to fill a niche role within that receiving room as well. All that to say that there's not a lot of redundancy there, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They do have some starters and some backups, but they fit together in a way that I think the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, probably.
Switching over to the tight end room there, Terrence Ferguson, it was a second-round pick out of Oregon last year, a buzzy name. Pretty much this time last year, he ended up not having a huge impact, but, man, you could definitely see there were some signs there. This year, though, a year into a McVay system, how has he looked, and what are the expectations in the building for a guy like Terrence Ferguson?
Oh, James, I think it's the appropriate next question, because for those who were trying to find a nit to pick about this Los Angeles Rams roster, wide receiver depth and who is that wide receiver 3 is probably something that they would circle. And I think those who watched a lot of the Rams this offseason have seen a Terrence Ferguson that is, a wide receiver 2.5 or a tight end 1.5 or however you want to depth chart him. It doesn't really matter. I think he's going to be a focal point. And he's got a unique skill set that allows the Rams, I think, to mismatch, to take advantage of defenses and the modern way in which they're built. So he's someone that I think I have big expectations for. Internally, the Rams may have even bigger expectations for. And unlike this time last year when he was a rookie trying to figure out this system, banged up and didn't even make it to the field until preseason game number 3, and then was entering an offense that only played one tight end at a time, going into the 2025 season, suddenly he's ready, he's well-versed, he's healthy, and he's part of an offense that deployed 3 tight ends better than any in NFL history.
Crazy. The 12 and 13 personnel revolution right now being led by the Rams and Sean McVay is kind of crazy to see, man. We used to be in this crazy 11 personnel world. Everyone's running 11 personnel. All of a sudden it's 12 and 13. Let's do a couple rapid-fire questions here for you. Are you ready? All right.
Go for it.
Let's get this thing going, man. Who has the most interesting pregame routine you've seen?
Brian Allen, Super Bowl winning Pro Bowl center for the Los Angeles Rams, is now on staff. And I think he originated the barefoot walk around the field and still does it on occasion. So that's one thing that comes to mind. And I think he started a trend because I see a lot of bare toes even as the Chargers and the Rams settle into tonight's game.
That's crazy. Okay, most likely to have a music career after football?
Kobe Turner, the conductor, defensive tackle, contract year.
There it is.
Guy.
Wait, what kind of music is he into, man?
Oh, he's an a cappella singer. He's an instrumentalist. He's a recording artist, and he's a sax artist. So he's a father. He's a bunch of great things. Kobe Turner is hard not to like.
Dude, I love it. Okay, because of Puka Nacua, McDonald's or In-N-Out?
I'm an In-N-Out guy.
There you
personally.
go.
Yeah,
that's the right answer.
I don't say no to burgers and fries in any way, shape, or form, but forced to choose, I'm leaning In-N-Out drive-through.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Okay, so that being said, if you've been an Angelino for a long time here, what's the In-N-Out order? What's your go-to?
Unfortunately, as I age, it's less carb-heavy and more lettuce-based, but it's still double-stacked and animal fries and extra onions and usually a shake finds its way in there whether I order it or not.
There you go. I love it. By the way, that's a great order. I like that. Hey, listen, look, JB, I know you're not going to say anything. I know you're going to say you don't know anything. Come on, man. Give us a little something on Aaron Donald. What's going on, man?
Well, whether I know something or not, I just cannot wait for the decision to be made. I mean, first of all, what a compliment, I think, to this roster the Rams have built, that someone of his stature and accomplishment would even consider it 2 years into retirement, that Aaron Donald would potentially reset his Hall of Fame clock 5 years to be a part of this team. What higher praise could there be? But selfishly, I called the greatest moments of his career, and the fact that there might still be some to come really excites me, and it would be an honor and a privilege, as was every day, watching Aaron Donald play football.
There you go. Beautiful. Hey, last question for you, and we'll let you go. How's Notre Dame going to do in football this year, man?
I feel like I'm living a charmed life. I cover the Super Bowl favorites, and my alma mater is right there and on the short list to be not just a part of the college football playoff, but maybe run the table and be the 1 seed and a whole bunch of other good things. So tell you what I don't love, though, is all the Notre Dame running backs finding their way to this division. I liked it when Kyron kind of had it to himself, and now
Sure.
Seattle and Arizona have both tapped into the South Bend pipeline in their backfield. So it'll be good to see those guys a couple times per year, but hopefully still have the most productive Golden Domer here in Los Angeles with Kyron Williams.
Hey, there you go. Great Notre Dame Golden Domer himself in the great J.B. Long. Hey, J.B., we appreciate the time, brother.
Hey, thanks for the invitation. Good to be reconnected with you, and have a great rest of your show.
All right, will do. There you go. Well, listen, the show's always better when you get a little JB. It's always a little bit better. It's not bad. You can find him on the radio call for all the Rams games. He has, we're approaching 10 years now of JB Long calling games for the Rams. Does a great job there as well. Man, a lot to get through. Again, if you're just joining us, the Dodgers have lost 3 consecutive one-run games. I'm keeping an eye on, speaking of the Rams, they just picked up a fumble. Justin Herbert and the starting offense getting out there and not looking great. Not looking great, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, at some point I will sit down and actually break down their offense, probably either tonight or tomorrow. Probably talk about it on tomorrow's show. Really want to do a deep dive into what we see in regards to the Chargers and what should the season expectations be for the Chargers. I'm incredibly high on the Chargers. That being said, there's been really no great reports of the Chargers offense this preseason. I think people are excited about what the personnel looks like. I think they're excited about Mike McDaniel, them losing Tyler Biadasz, their star center, free agent acquisition. That's certainly going to hurt them. But so long as they've got Joe Walt and Rashawn Slater, they'll be fine on the offensive line. It is a bummer. I don't know how they're going to replace Biadasz. They're going to stick a rookie in there. How he performs, I'm not sure. But I know if anyone's going to get that job done, it's definitely going to be Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, again, you think about his trench work, how he's able to coach up the trenches on both sides of the football. He always gets the most out of his run game. And I think that will not be any different this year. I think Omarion Hampton, for y'all playing fantasy football, and if you're listening to the show, I promise you most likely are playing fantasy football. Omarion Hampton, one of the best values in fantasy football. Truly, honestly, Omarion Hampton has an opportunity to go out there and truly be a top 5 fantasy running back this year. I love his scheme fit. Coming out of North Carolina was somebody that I charted. And I noted that he is great running to the outside, not so much on the inside. Not really a between the tackles guy, despite the size. He's like 220 pounds. But you know what? He's much, much better when he is able to kind of sort of flow to the outside. 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. Dodgers, again, 3 consecutive one-run losses. We can go to the phones, 855-97-LA-FAN. It is a regular contributor to the show. We go to Mitch in New Jersey. Mitch, what's going on, man?
What's popping, James? Besides the bullpen, and come playoffs, a lot of starters can take their place because we do have a lot of starters. It's our hitting, our offense. I know we lost the 1 run. Had it been a couple more home runs here, there, but we're not hitting as many home runs as you're used to. Team is kind of aging in some spots. I wish Ohtani would bat third. The best hitter from my day bats third. And he's having a good year, close. He still has a chance to get the MVP. But I wish they could I wish they'd try him. Maybe somebody can claim that leadoff spot. I know there's no Ricky Henderson out there or Billy North, but I wish he would have more RBIs, especially hits all these solo home runs. I just want to know what you think, and of course, bring up some couple of hot shots in the minor leagues before the call-up, so they can be in the postseason roster.
Mitch in New Jersey, I appreciate the phone call. You're parroting a lot of things that I have said previously. Again, there needs to be a stronger call. The more I watch this offense, the more that I think there needs to be a much stronger call and a much stronger response from somebody, either on the coach, especially in the front office. Like, somebody's got to explain to me, maybe not me personally, but I'm just saying, like, the royal, me, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's got to explain to us, the fans, why are the top prospects not even getting a sniff right now? Why is there no consideration for some of these young guys? That's what I don't get. They had a clear need. They had an absolute opportunity to bring up one of these young guys for an extended look. Again, if it's not to Paula, okay, great. You're saying he needs some work in the outfield? He's a bad defender? All right, okay. Cool. Well, what about Mike Sirota? What about any one of these high-level prospects you got? Listen, absolutely nothing against Alek Thomas. His work, in the first 4 games here has been, it's been fine. It's been pretty good. As a matter of fact, it's been pretty good, But I don't think anyone thinks he's a long-term answer in the outfield. Why not get one of these young guys a look? And again, like I said, I just don't understand. Nobody in the front office, nobody's asking Dave about these dudes. Dave's in the trenches, man. Like, he's run the day by day, so, he's not going to know, man. But somebody's got to be looking around.
Now that we've talked about this pretty often here on the show, I did go home and do some research on it.
Ooh.
Okay. And Josue DePaula, for one, 21 years old, right? They don't want to start the Dodgers, as an organization, don't want to start the clock on his major league service time as far as paying him. And also, if he finishes out the season, he won't be a rookie anymore as far as, in the future, whatever, and all that. But they can bring him up, doing the research part of this.
Yeah.
They can bring him up on September 1st as part of September call-ups when rosters can go from 26 to 28 position players.
Okay.
So there is that.
September 1st is the day then. I tell you right now, September 1st rolls around, I better be seeing either DePaula or Sirota up on the big club.
Okay, so come September 1st, you could just go off if neither of them are on the Dodgers at that point.
Yes.
But also, if you call up a prospect now, he obviously would be a part of your 40-man roster.
Uh-huh.
So if there's a strike next year and we don't have a season in the major leagues, that prospect, whoever gets called up, he would not be able to play in the minors as well.
Oh, wow.
So that's a huge point as well.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that research. There you go. Producer P, double P, doing the thing. I'll give you a Chargers update here real quick. Chargers, man. Justin Herbert and the offense has looked abysmal, has looked terrible. And just when you think, like, wow, this could be legitimately a problem. This could be a legit problem. Justin Herbert, out of nowhere, drops a 70-yard strike to Quentin Johnston, of all people. Like, deep downfield. He threw it 50 yards on a line. And I swear, I'm like, is this the QJ?
Are we in Fort Worth right now?
Like, what's happening?
Is that TCU QJ?
This looks like TCU QJ.
I swear that QJ literally lines up on the outside, closes his eyes, and sprints for he counts to 3.
Yeah.
And then he opens his eyes.
Yes.
Turns around, and there's either a ball there or there's not.
Yeah. Well, the problem with QJ is that he's unable to, or the biggest weakness of his game is that he can't track a ball over his shoulder. I think, look, he put together a lot of explosive plays for Sonny Dykes over there at TCU, but all of them were like crossing routes, deep overs, right? Like, again, he's got to go horizontal to get the legs going and to shed tacklers. And listen, the coaching staff before Jim Harbaugh got there didn't understand that, and they just kept pigeonholing this guy. They're like, hey, you're big. You can run. You must be Mike Williams. And it's like, dog, this guy is not Mike Williams. He is not a vertical X receiver. Now, he can play X, but he's got to run. And just, again, we're talking drag routes. We're talking quick slants. And we're talking deep overs. He's got to go horizontal to fully utilize his, after catch ability. And he does have really good after the catch ability. It just happened to be on this one play. We're going 70 yards deep. Big time bomb. Beautiful throw from Justin Herbert. Man, if you were wondering why he has so many fans and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's because of beautiful footballs being thrown like that. You give this guy even remotely a clean pocket. 65 yards to the cribbo. Beautiful shot from Herbert to Quentin Johnston. This was nothing fancy. Just ran a straight go ball. Just straight up 9 route. And QJ did a great job, beautiful job, tracking that football, getting underneath it, and catching it and scoring the touchdown. Obviously, there was a little bit of a defensive breakdown there. There probably should have been a safety. But regardless, beautiful throw, beautiful catch, a beautiful result for the Chargers. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I do want to talk a little bit of Aaron Turner. I found a little bit more on Aaron Turner, the horrible agent for Jonathan Kuminga. You will not believe this is not the first time an Aaron Turner client got hosed by the worst agent in all of the NBA. That story coming up next.
Who is your agent?
Los Angeles, what's cracking? It's your boy, the Dodgers. Then it's not as beautiful.
Dodger baseball.
Tough scene there in Atlanta, where, again, the Dodgers got shut out. I'm not going to lie to you, man. You know, I feel like we are, stepping lightly around the subject. But the bottom line is this. When you have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Kyle Tucker didn't play today, which I found to be surprising. There's a story in there too. And again, you could say, hey, scheduled day off. And I mean, I know he was in there as a pinch runner, but no ABs for him. I don't know. This lineup didn't look good. I'm not, obviously, they had 5 hits and no runs. But Shohei Ohtani going 0 for 4 and Freddie Freeman going 1 for 4, Tommy Edman going 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, his last 2 strikeouts on 6 pitches. Yeah, that's not good. Obviously, it's not good, but...
That's terrible.
Correct, Charles, it is terrible. But, and again, the point being is, even if you're not getting runs with a pitcher in Chris Sale who is obviously an older pitcher, you just got to get bat on ball. You got to work walks. And I know that's tough, but I mean, can we start fouling off balls? I mean, the whiff rate in today's game was embarrassing. Straight up. The whiff rate was so bad. Can you at least make some contact? You had to get into deeper counts against Chris Sale. I know easier said than done. But man, there was just none of that going on at all today. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Eric from Crenshaw dialing in, wants to talk Dodgers. Eric, what do you got, pal?
From Crenshaw?
Wait, not from Crenshaw? Okay, my bad. Where you at, man?
This is Eric from the 213, man. Crenshaw.
My fault. My fault.
Well,
from the mighty 213. Let's go.
Hey, if I'm from Crenshaw, I might not even be able to call you right now if I was from Crenshaw right now.
Look at my guy, Eric, man. All right, my apologies, bro. Hit me. Yeah.
First of all, your t-shirt game on point, man.
Correct, bro.
How many t-shirts you got? How many t-shirts you got in your closet right now, bro?
I'm gonna say
over like 250.
Nah, dog. What? Nah. You know what? Hey, here's the thing, dude. Like, I've got like 30 t-shirts that I like. I probably got 40 total. But I actually try. Hey, listen, I actually try to keep I run a pretty tight ship. If like I get a new t-shirt, I generally lose another t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to keep my closet kind of crispy, if you know what I'm saying.
You do, man. Your hair is crispy too, bro. You got a like a 24/7 fade right there, bro.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Look at this guy, man. All right, hit me, bro. Talk to me about the Dodgers, man.
No.
What?
So let's start with Atwell. We got Atwell.
We got
Atwell because Sean McVay wants that guy to take the top off the defense, man. It was Tavon Austin when he came into the Rams. Then it was Sammy Watkins, and then it was Tutu Atwell. And then he sorely missed the guy that got the top off the defense. And so he brought Atwell back.
Hold up. Let me push back on that. You can't miss a guy if he never left. I mean, my boy was gone for a hot minute. Like he went out to go get a cup of. He went out to go get a cup of coffee in his back, bro.
I know. He wasn't even gone for a whole season, and then McVay was like, "No, we need to bring Atwell."
That's crazy. I
know. Hey, so as far as the Dodgers, man.
Okay.
Look, how many Can I ask you a question? How many playoffs have we made as a Dodgers franchise?
A lot. Been a lot of postseasons, man.
Almost 20 years. I know, man. Why? Look, I'm not gonna panic.
Okay.
Just get to the playoffs with a bye, right?
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I don't want to panic, but That's it, man. James, bro, thank you for taking my call, man.
Eric, not from Crenshaw. Eric from 213 is in the building. I appreciate the phone call. 855-97 LA Fan. Again, that's 855-97 LA Fan. You know, look, obviously it's a very long season, 162 games, and there's a lot to go through, but we are now getting into crunch time. I mean, come on, man. It's August 27th now. And the problems that have plagued the Dodgers continue to show themselves game in and game out. I think if you're watching this team closely, there has to be some question marks, and if you're a fan, there's got to be frustration with the lack of adjustments, the lack of improvement in the areas where the Dodgers are weak. Their as a matter of fact, their relief situation, their relief pitching has been bad. One of the worst in the majors since July 1st. So now we're 2 months in, and middle relief and the closer situation has been horrendous. And so again, there's really been not a lot of movement there. They've been bad and they've stayed bad. Okay, that's frustrating. Now, again, it has been incredibly inconsistent production from the lineup as well. They're so home run dependent that and again, that's worked for them. But when you're talking about an aging roster, when you're talking about Freddie Freeman, who has been a source of power for the Dodgers, not having hit a home run since friggin' July 4th, bro. We're pushing 2 months now.
Brother,
We're pushing 2 months since Freddie Freeman has hit a home run. That's wild. That's nuts. Obviously, Mookie Betts has seen a dip in his power numbers as well. And, dude, you can't tell me it's not because of the age. These guys are just, again, it is one of, if not the oldest lineups in all of baseball. And so, again, these are problems. These are, hiccups, roster construction-wise, that don't seem to be fixing themselves. Game in and game out, the Dodgers have continued to look old and they've aged poorly. Look, guys, when I first got on the radio, I think we're pushing 3 months now. When I first got on the radio, and I was giving an assessment of where the Dodgers are at, it was great. Like, they're winning a lot of ball games, but my assessment was it's one of the oldest lineups that you will find in baseball, and they are getting unexpected rando production from rando players. And the stars have not played like stars. This is true. You can go find it. If you can, go find it. I don't know. Maybe you can't go find it. I don't know. But if you find that, this is what I was saying. The range of outcomes was this, and I said this 3 dang months ago, was that, hey, listen, if the randos continue to rake and the veteran high-priced players then find their swing, if Mookie gets on, starts to, again, find the bat, if Kyle Tucker finds the bat, it's over. It's the best offense in baseball by 1 billion miles. But the downside risk, when you're talking about range of outcomes, and again, I've been harping on this for 3 dang months now, is that if this older unit just is old and they don't find their swing and they don't find their power and the random production that they got early on ends up, again, drying up, which is to be expected because it's random production. You're not expecting this kind of power and all that. It's just not going to happen. And if that starts to dry up, which it has, okay, well, now we're left with worst case scenario, which is what we are seeing here today, which is Kyle Tucker can't hit, Mookie Betts can't hit. I wasn't anticipating Freddie Freeman's power drop off to happen this severely, but it has. That's a problem. And the randos are not hitting, So listen, it's a problem. Andy Paez is gone for a month. When he comes back, what does he look like? He's got to get back into the swing of things. We're anticipating Will Smith to come back, and hopefully he will provide a spark offensively from the catcher spot. But can I say this? I think between Fiducia and Rortvedt, they actually have contributed from the catcher spot way more than anyone was anticipating. So currently, as we're sitting here today, catcher spot actually hasn't been a problem for the Dodgers offensively. I think that's important to note. That if it was really bad, you could point to that and say, yeah, well, when Will Smith comes back, he's going to provide a lift and it's going to be all good. Well, listen, dude, Fiducia and Rortvedt actually have been hitting a little bit. So I don't know. They've been hitting a little bit and the offense looks like, doing this today. Shutout against Chris Sale. So, yeah, man, there's a lot to unpack here. I want to, after the break, again, talk about Jonathan Kuminga and this just unbelievable bag fumble from Aaron Turner, Kuminga's agent, and what it all means. You're going to hear from Derek Fisher in regards to the Kuminga trade as well. That's coming up after the break on the James Coe Show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We welcome you back in. James Coe here with you. Normally we save this for the 9 o'clock hour, but man, I really wanted to hear from Derek Fisher in regards to the Jonathan Kuminga trade. So listen, we're talking about takes of the day. This is where our guy Double P scours the different shows and tells us some of the best takes of the day.
It's time for Takes of the Day.
What do you think about Le GM?
I don't see it that way.
But I will say, that's how a lot of fans
The Dodgers need to shut him down from pitching for a month.
This is reckless behavior.
Lakers should move on. All right, here we go. Again, Jonathan Kuminga was a big-time topic last night and today. Double P, what do you got?
Well, the biggest reason we're doing this takes of the day so early, well, we got D Fish on this whole Kuminga deal. Let's see what he had to say as far as Kuminga possibly coming to the Lakers.
I think he has more room there to be, like, he's going to always be in the 6-7 man rotation, no matter what. Here in LA, Kuminga, had he not been bringing it over a couple week stretch, JJ Redick could go get another guy and play those minutes if he wasn't able to really defend at a high level, execute offensively, coming out of timeouts, etc. So I'm not saying the Timberwolves are necessarily like a better fit than the Lakers per se, but it's not a bad basketball fit for him. I don't think he went backwards from a basketball perspective. It's just financially right now, he probably cost himself some money, which is why he's trying to take a shorter path back to the table to get some money again.
Man, I feel so weird saying this. I think I just disagree about dang near everything he just said. I feel absolutely awful saying that, and I know I have zero credibility. It's like, hey, should we listen to the multi-time NBA champion or should we listen to the random Asian guy with the microphone? Yeah, I know where you're going with that one. I know where you're going with that one, bro. I don't need to put up no poll question. Can you imagine this poll question? Hey, yo, who you going for basketball takes? The multi-time champion Derek Fisher or the random Asian dude with a fresh haircut? Where are we going? We don't need to put that poll question up. Let me tell you something. You put that poll question up, I'm voting for Derek Fisher, bro. But dang, I dang near disagree with everything he just said right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, I want to break that down, but let me hear from Brock Vereen first, though. So again, Brock Vereen also talking about Jonathan Kuminga on the Brock and Alex show. I think we've got it.
Oh, yeah, we got it. Here we go.
Okay,
this
here
was
we go.
Brock from today.
Because this offer was out to Kuminga months ago, I feel that it had nothing to do with the ownership. I feel it's Kuminga looking at the offense and the offense that the Lakers are going to run with the pieces that they've added and built around Luka and saying, I don't know how I fit into that offense, which
even though they offered him a starting role.
You know, okay, so let me talk about what Brock is talking about first. So I would say that it's pretty obvious the Lakers are going to run a very high amount of pick and roll. Like this is Luka's team now. We don't have to think about LeBron. Okay, it's Luka's team. Also, it's Austin Reeves, right? And like both of these guys love pick and roll. Luka especially loves pick and roll. The reason they got Walker Kessler was for what? Pick and roll. Like, I'm not breaking any ground here, okay? So, but then here's the thing. When you go to Minnesota, and look, I could be wrong here. I don't totally know what the offense is going to look like, but they didn't make a coaching change. And I would again, when you look at the roster construction, it's LaMelo Ball, it's Ant Edwards, it's Ayo Dosunmu and Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. I don't know, man. Like, to me, that also feels like a very high pick and roll type of team. Especially when you've got LaMelo Ball, we're definitely going PNR here, right? Like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, you're definitely going PNR here, and PNR from 30 feet from the basket as well.
Yeah.
Like very high PNR.
Like, extremely high PNR.
Yeah.
Right? Because, by the way, you can.
Yes.
Like, that's the other thing. Like, I'm just imagining a LaMelo, Ant Edwards, like, PNR from, like, 30 feet away. Good luck. Good luck defending that. I mean, you're going to have to crash down, and it's going to be kickouts to Ayo and Jaden McDaniels, and then it's going to be Rudy Gobert in the dunker spot. I mean, again, listen, obviously it's going to be more complicated than that. I'm oversimplifying things here, but I mean, again, that's pretty. But what I just described there in Minnesota, it's the same damn offense in LA. Like, again, the pieces are different, right? It's going to be Walker Kessler, most likely in a PNR, most likely, and again, not 30 feet from the basket, but it's going to be at the 3-point line, right? Okay, so we're going wing PNR. Look, dude, I don't know if I'm going too inside baseball here, but I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a wing PNR. You've got Austin Reeves and a bunch of shooters out there, right? Like, it's going to be Austin Reeves getting kickouts. I mean, again, Sandro Mamukelashvili going to get some kickouts. He's a good three-point shooter. Like, okay, cool. Like, we've got guys cutting to the basket maybe, but it's going to be predicated. The Lakers PNR will be different than the T-Wolves PNR, but when you're thinking about, again, you've got Ayo Dosunmu out there, and instead of Jaden McDaniels, now you've got Jonathan Kuminga out there. I don't know, man. Like, it's a very similar offense, and maybe I'm oversimplifying things here, but I think from an offensive standpoint, I think it's pretty dang similar.
It's also so, like, you don't have to, it's not a bad thing to oversimplify. By the way, in the NBA, because it really is that simple.
Sometimes,
when you think about it. Because
sometimes,
if you really sit there and watch an NBA practice and watch some coaches go through plays and go through their offense and how they get things rolling, everything starts with something very simple.
Sure.
And you could definitely say that the Lakers and the T-Wolves were going to have very similar offenses because they got similar style guys who handle the basketball.
That's the thing.
Without question.
If you have somebody like LaMelo, you have somebody like Luka, who they're just very ball dominant, then again, when your best players are ball dominant, I'm not saying LaMelo is their best player. Obviously, it's Ant Edwards is their best player. But when you have somebody who is ball dominant like that, PNR, pick and roll, is one of the go-to options. Like, you can run motion. You can absolutely run motion. But especially in Minnesota, I don't see there being a motion offense. That to me doesn't make a lot of sense. They might prove me wrong.
And I just don't think many people can say that the situation is so much different. So I agree with you. And the biggest difference is the money and the years.
Right.
And the money and the years were favoring LA.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
It's crazy.
And by the way, the role for me too, like the offensive role, I think makes more sense for Kuminga in this regard. So, I don't know. When I say I disagree with everything that Derek Fisher said, I think it's again, based off of role, he will have a bigger, he could have had a bigger offensive role with LA. Like, again, hey, listen, I don't care what you think about Austin Reeves, but it's like Austin Reeves is not going to take shots away from Jonathan Kuminga because they play in completely different areas of the basketball court. So Kuminga will get a lot of opportunities, and shoot, if and when Walker Kessler misses time, dude, those high pick and rolls with Jonathan Kuminga and Luka, that's dangerous, man. That is really, really good too. So I don't know, man. I'm very confused by it. Let me listen to Derek Fisher one more time. Because maybe I misheard. But I think that it's just, again, I was I was surprised by how much I disagreed with it. Do we got it? All right, let's listen to it one more time.
Has more room there to be, like, he's going to always be in the 6-7 man rotation, no matter what. Here in LA, Kuminga, had he not been bringing it over a couple week stretch, JJ Redick could go get another guy and play those minutes if he wasn't able to really defend at a high level, execute offensively, coming out of timeouts, etc. So I'm not saying.
No. That, again, completely disagree.
So you're like, okay, I was right.
I heard that one correctly. No, I completely disagree. This is the funny thing. Like, in LA, who could legitimately play over Kuminga? Like, I just don't see that. It's Luka, Austin Reeves, Quentin Grimes, Jonathan Kuminga, and Walker Kessler. Off the bench, you've got Cam Carr, Colin Sexton, and Sandro Mamukelashvili.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's no more Rui.
There's no more Rui. Like, Kevin Looney is a total end of the bench guy. Jake LaRavia, again, is probably like a rotational piece, but there's no one on that roster at all that threatens Kuminga's playtime. I think Kuminga has to be legitimate. He has to be a starter. This is a roster that desperately needs athleticism. You take him off the floor, the athleticism goes bye-bye. Right? So I completely disagree. Now, if you go to Minnesota and you look at their roster, it's LaMelo, it's Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, who they invested in and is a hell of a good ball player. Jaden McDaniels is a hell of a good ball player. Rudy Gobert is a starter, right? So if Jonathan Kuminga doesn't end up working out in Minnesota, at best, he's a six-man. At worst, he's just a 7th, 8th rotational piece because, dude, Ayo can play. Ayo is dang good. Jaden McDaniels is really good ball player. The only way that Jonathan Kuminga loses PT in LA is if Cam Carr develops. But, dude, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
So, again, playing time-wise, I completely disagree with Derek Fisher. This is a much more thorny path for Jonathan Kuminga in Minnesota because, man, I'm telling you, Ayo Dosunmu and Jaden McDaniels, they've got playoff experience. They have experience with their best player, Anthony Edwards. Dude, this is such a stupid move from Jonathan Kuminga, and I cannot believe he is still retaining the services of Aaron Turner. Aaron Turner should have been fired last year, and now he's back. It's crazy. I want to give more details on the Aaron Turner thing. That's going to come up next. You will not believe how he represented Victor Oladipo. When I lay out those details and compare them to what he is doing to Jonathan Kuminga, it's very similar, and it's very scary. That's coming up next. What is cracking, Los Angeles? James Kell here with you. Dodgers lose again. 3 losses in a row, all by a single run. I'm going to break that down. We're going to hear from Mookie Betts here shortly. I wanted to finish my story here and my thoughts on Aaron Turner, who represents Jonathan Kuminga. The reporting was that Jonathan Kuminga wanted to play for LA, that he was leaning towards LA. And all of a sudden, when it came to make a decision, Jonathan Kuminga shockingly signed with Minnesota, and he signed their taxpayer MLE. What? A 1-year, $6 million deal. Now, he has a player option on the second year, so it's like a 2-year 13 or a 2-year 12 or something like that. I am assuming he will opt out of that unless he gets injured. Knock on wood, please. I don't want to see him get hurt. But that being said, it started to remind me of Victor Oladipo. And let me give you the Jonathan Kuminga timeline very quickly here. Jonathan Kuminga, again, signed a 2-year, $13 million deal with Minnesota. One is a player option, so it's really a 1-year $6. Again, it's for the taxpayer mid-level exception. Remember, Golden State offered him a 3-year extension at $75 million, so that would have been $25 million per, which, by the way, that's the number that they are looking for currently. They are looking for $20+ million per year. Golden State previously offered them that, and they said, no, I'll turn that one down. Ultimately, he signed a 2-year, $48 million deal. The second year was a team option. Atlanta turned that team option down. So it turned into from a 3-year $75 to a 1-year $24. The Lakers early in the offseason, and again, these are reports. I don't know if this is true. Early in the offseason, the Lakers offered a 2-year $20 million deal. A 2-year $20 million deal. And again, remember, the length of these deals was very important to Jonathan Kuminga. But you know what happened is that they turned that down because they thought that somebody else was going to offer a bigger sign and trade package. That never materialized. Again, that is purely on Aaron Turner. 0% on Kuminga. That is not Kuminga's job to understand what the market looks like. It's Aaron Turner. Aaron Turner, his entire job is to understand what the free agent market looks like, and he did not. He had absolutely no idea. So again, early in the process, the Lakers were like, yeah, you want a shorter deal? Cool, come over here, 2-year 20. We'll give you 10 per. Now, again, remember, that's reporting. I don't know if that's actually true. 2-year, $20 million. Would have been $10 million per. But because the restricted free agent market dried up, because the whole trade market dried up, that money was not there. So now to do a sign and trade, you go from a 2-year deal to activate a sign and trade, you must sign a 3-year deal. So the Lakers are like, all right, that's fine. We'll give you a 3-year deal. It's a little bit more money than you wanted anyways, it's a little bit more money than we offered originally. We gave you $220. We're going to give you $336. So we go from $10 million a year to $12 million a year. Pretty good, right? Like you're thinking like, okay, cool. Like, well, Jonathan Kuminga waited and he got a better deal. Okay, good for him. And again, the reporting was that he was leaning towards LA. So then what happens? He shockingly signs a 1-year $6 to go to Minnesota. What that sounds like to me is that Aaron Turner convinced his client to turn down that 3-year deal so that he could test free agency. The reason that is even worse than it sounds is that now he also has given up his bird rights. I'm not a big contracts guy, man. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of like the first apron, second apron. Like, bro, like I got kids, bro. Like, I got a mortgage. I don't need to know the ins and outs of the NBA salary cap, which is incredibly complicated. But I do know that you want your bird rights. Because when a team re-signs you, they can re-sign you to a 5-year deal versus a 4-year deal. And also the escalators inside of your deal make it much more lucrative if you have your bird rights. Which, by the way, that's why free agency doesn't exist now. Aaron Turner has to be the dumbest agent in all of the NBA because everyone, even this loudmouth Asian dude, understands everyone wants to retain their bird rights. That's why sign-in trades are happening all over the place. It's not traditional free agency now. Those days are dead. Teams can go over and into the first apron, into the second apron by re-signing their own guys. You can't do that by signing free agents. That's why free agency in the NBA is essentially dead. It doesn't exist. Trades are happening. Sign-in trades are happening so that these players can retain their bird rights. And they use the threat. They use the threat of walking out the door to force their way into a sign-in trade. And teams are doing it. Why? Because they have an asset and they don't want that asset to go out the door. Like, if you are going to do a sign-in trade, well, we better get some kind of asset back, whether that is a first-round pick, whether it's a second-round pick, whether it is a pick swap. It doesn't matter. They got to get some asset back. That's how the game is being played now. Aaron Turner, instead, directs his client, Jonathan Kuminga, to sign a 1-year $6 so that they could test free agency, a free agency that doesn't exist anymore. This is unbelievably bad management. Unbelievably bad management, and it brings me back to Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo's agent at the time was who? It was Aaron Turner. Victor Oladipo turned down a 4-year, $112 million offer from the Pacers. Victor Oladipo turned down a 2-year, $45 million offer from the Rockets. Turned those deals down. Victor Oladipo got hurt. And he never saw that money again. As a matter of fact, the sad thing about Vic right now, and he was a fantastic player. Remember, it was a great story because he went to play ball collegiately at Indiana and then played for the Pacers. Cool story, man. Should have been an easy contract negotiation. It wasn't. Aaron Turner was involved because he's an idiot. And we are at the point now where Victor Oladipo, after all of this went down, fired Aaron Turner. And the sad thing for Vic, who, again, was a tremendous player, is that now he's on Twitter practically, I don't want to say begging, man, but he is on Twitter asking for a tryout somewhere, saying he's fully healthy and he can still play and he can still help contribute to a ball club. He just wants a chance. We're talking about, man, at his peak, bro, Victor Oladipo was a top 25 player in the NBA, arguably a top 10 player in the NBA. He was that good at his peak. And now, because of injuries, major injuries, he's on Twitter saying, hey, yo, if anyone's interested, I can play.
Who is your agent?
So bad. It's Aaron Turner. Aaron Turner. Horrible. It's got to be one of the worst agents I've ever seen in my life. He literally ruined Victor Oladipo's financial career. And he is well on his way to ruining the financial future of Jonathan Kuminga as well. Well on his way. I am predicting that Aaron Turner will not have clients in 5 years. I think he's going to be out of basketball. I think he's going to be repping guys in like the Canadian Basketball League. I think he's going to be repping dudes in like Brazil. This is one of the worst. I mean, it's so easy to see. The mismanagement is so easy to see that literally what I am saying, I'm not breaking new ground here, y'all. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I like say things that sound a little outlandish, but when you actually really think about it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Bro, I am saying the things that literally every single person is saying, which is this is horrible mismanagement of Jonathan Kuminga. The reports were that he wanted to go to LA. He shockingly signs a 1-year $6 to go to Minnesota. Who do you think advised him to do that? If he truly wanted to go to LA, who's the guy that suggested to him or basically essentially forced him, giving him bad advice that he should sign the 1-year $6 in Minnesota? I don't know, man. Again, put it all together, bro. It's not that hard to put together. It sounds very much like Aaron Turner was the guy that got into JK's ear and was like, hey, dog, let's go to Minnesota. Let's play 1 good year, which, oh, by the way, Minnesota has a bunch of athletic wings, but sure, yeah, you'll fit the need there. No, you won't. Ayo Dosunmu is currently a better player than Jonathan Kuminga right now. Right now, he is a better, more consistent wing. Golly, I might take Jaden McDaniels over Jonathan Kuminga right now. The thought and the assertion that Jonathan Kuminga is going to go to Minnesota and just be an athletic low post / wing for them is just, it's baffling. LaMelo Ball dominant. Anthony Edwards, ball dominant. First of all, the LaMelo Anthony trade was stupid as hell. Dumb as hell. What are we doing out here? You want the ball in Anthony Edwards' hands, man. Like, why would you bring in LaMelo Ball? LaMelo Ball is an... Dude, LaMelo Ball, he is super fun to watch, but can we be real? Can we be real? He's an elevated street baller. You know? Let's be real. Like, we don't have an adult in the room. When you are trying to win a championship, Minnesota, you got to get adults in the room. That's why Derek Fisher was a hell of a point guard for LA during their championship run. He's an adult, man. Like, he gets it. He understands. When you go back and you look at all of these championship teams, they have an adult as their point guard. Like, LaMelo's a hell of a ball player, man. Hell of a ball player. But he's the absolute, like, god form of a street baller. When was the last time you've seen that player archetype win a championship? Legitimately, tell me. As a matter of fact, going back into the late 90s, early 2000s, Sacramento moved on from white chocolate Jason Williams to bring in Mike Bibby because Mike Bibby was an adult. And white chocolate was out there making crazy and one plays, and the mixtapes of J. Will back in the day went crazy. I mean, dude, those mixtapes of J. Will, that legitimately fed YouTube. It was insane. Early YouTube days was just me watching mixtapes of J. Will. It was awesome. But everyone knew, okay, if we're going to try to go win a championship with Chris Webber and Vlade Divac and Hito Turkoglu, we got to go bring an adult in at point guard, and that was Mike Bibby. They made that trade. You see what I'm saying? Go back, man. Look at all these championship teams. Jalen Brunson, cool, point guard, adult. SGA, adult. Corporate champ, we hate the foul baiting. But again, mature player. Sometimes I'm shocked by these front offices, man. I am. And Minnesota, bro, I'm sorry. You have Ant Edwards. Surround him with shooters and responsible players, guys who protect the ball. Listen, you like defensive players. You need like a defensive 3-and-D point guard, bro, and you bring in LaMelo Ball. Okay. Hey, listen, when you can sign Jonathan Kuminga to a 1-year $6, obviously every team in the NBA is going to do that. It's the second best. Jonathan Kuminga on a 1-year $6 is the second best deal in basketball, only to LeBron James. That's it. It's literally the best deal in basketball. It's crazy. Of course you're going to sign that guy. But if you're Jonathan Kuminga, you got two ball-dominant guys in LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. Okay, where are you going to get the ball? How are you going to get the ball? I'm curious. Off of what? A LaMelo, Anthony Edwards 30-foot pick and roll, and what are you're popping out and hitting a wing jumper? No, you're not. That's not your game. What are we doing out here? Jonathan Kuminga's agent, Aaron Turner, has to be the worst agent in the history of the game ever. Because it is a gross misunderstanding of how free agency works now in the current model of the NBA. And it is also an absolutely disgusting and gross misunderstanding of how good of a player his client is. Like, where does he fit? He fits perfectly with the Lakers. He will make so much more money off court with the Lakers. Nope. Let's just think about on-court production and on-court money. That's it. What? This is so stupid. Like, that's the other thing, man. Like, the thing that no one is talking about, this is an original take here, but like the thing that no one's talking about with Kuminga is that, dude, the off-court money would have easily made up for the on-court money if he had come to LA. He is now surrounded by like legit billionaires out here, like legit players in the space of AI, of tech, of Hollywood, commercial success. All the brands are out here, bro. Like, if he plays well in LA, the brand deals will be flowing. Insane idea to go to Minnesota. You're not going to make any kind of off-court money, like not anything remotely approaching what you would make off-court here in LA potentially. Crazy move. Aaron Turner's got to be the worst. Again, took Victor Oladipo, ruined his financial future, and is well on his way to ruining the financial future of Jonathan Kuminga as well. Insane. How does this guy have a job? Shoot, man. Hey, yo, let me rep you, bro. Dude, listen, I don't know what the take-home pay is for Aaron Turner. Dude, Jonathan Kuminga, bro, one JK to another. Let me rep you, man. Golly. I can't believe how bad this guy is ruining your financial future. Insane, bro. Insane. Okay, let's take an early break. When we come back, you will hear from both Yoshi Yamamoto. You will also hear from Mookie Betts as well. And Dave Roberts, I am being told. Okay. We're going to hear from the Dodgers following their third consecutive loss to the Braves as they now fall to 2-14 against winning teams over the past 30 days.
That's terrible.
Really terrible. I agree with you, Chuck. Terrible. 2-14, this Dodgers, that's like bottom of the barrel type of record right there. Like, that's like you are one of the worst teams in baseball type of records. That's tough. All right, we're going to hear from the Dodgers. That's coming up right here on the James Koh Show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Mom Spaghetti. Let's go. No, man, this is an all-timer. If you're a hip-hop fan. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. Vin on the Eminem beat? Well, hold up now. Hit that again.
Dodger baseball.
Yeah, boy. Let's go. We living now. We living.
Dodger baseball.
One of my absolute, he is my favorite hip-hop artist of all time is Eminem. Yeah, man, and this was an all-timer. If you're a hip-hop fan, an all-timer.
He reminds me of a older Posty.
Stop it, dude. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Bro, don't you even remotely try to compare these two guys, man. Completely different animals. Totally different animals. And I respect the hell out of both of them. I mean, they both make great music. It's just not even in the same, they're not even in the same genre, man. Like, what are we talking about? That's crazy. 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. Shout out to the YouTube chats, man, because they keep it popping, man. They entertain me. Hey, listen, chat, listen, I know I do not always respond because, hey, listen, I'm out here, running my show. But I see everything that you guys write, man. You guys keep it lively, man. So, I appreciate the energy in the chat. If you guys want to go be part of that conversation, find it on YouTube at The Fan LA. Now, I do believe we've got somebody from the chat jumping into IRL. David, I think, is it David Horse or David 100? We're going to find out. Let's keep it a mystery. We go to David calling in. Is this David 100 or is this David Horse, man? Who we got?
It's David 100, brother. How you doing?
There it is. Yeah, man. Hey, man, where you calling in from, bro?
From LA.
Okay, there we go. Let's keep this thing going, man. What do you want to talk about, bro?
You know what? One, I want to touch up real quick on the Dodgers. I'm not going to waste my time on these losers. And then two, right. I want to kind of like ask you something about Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
Dodgers point where I want to get to is I really feel bad for Yamamoto today.
Yeah.
That guy was dealing out there. He put his heart out there. And what did the team do? They stunk. You know what? I was just telling David Horse, I'm done. Last night I was frustrated. We spoke. But you know what? I am not losing any more energy on these guys. These guys are making the big bucks, and they're probably at home right now with their kids jumping on their bellies, and they're having fun, and the fans are struggling. I'm done with that. Until October comes and they prove it that they could win, then I'll celebrate with them at the parade. Until then, I'm saving my energy. Screw them. My question to you that I wanted to ask is, I get what you're saying about Jonathan Kuminga's agent.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, do we only blame the agent, or some of these players are dumb themselves because they're adult professional ballers?
Sure.
And you're going to tell me they don't have a say on where they want to play and what their contracts could be like? Why couldn't Jonathan Kuminga say, hey, dude, I know you're my agent and you're representing me. Hold on, fool. You're messing things up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what I need, my money, and I want my play. Like, I just want to hear what you have to say about that. Like, yeah, we could blame the agent for being horrible, but I think at the same time, maybe Jonathan Kuminga is horrible himself. He probably doesn't know how to deal for himself as well.
Oh, listen, there is no, and by the way, David, great call. I appreciate that. 855-97-LA-FAN. It's a great point that you're making, and you're right. I am going in hard, like ridiculously hard on Aaron Turner, and I am giving 100% pass. When you listen to the show, you're thinking, wow, my guy James Coe, he's given Jonathan Kuminga 100% of a pass here. And you're right. There needs to be some blame divvied to the player as well. I go about it in two different ways. One, everyone's got a role to play, right? And look, if you're like me, and I want to pull the curtain back here, I don't have an agent. And for somebody who was of my level, speaking, being a sports broadcaster at this level, it is incredibly rare to find somebody who is like myself, who has been a high-level broadcaster at a bunch of different places, and I don't have an agent. That's rare. And the reason that's rare is because being a sports broadcaster and being a businessman are two totally different skill sets. And so for Jonathan Kuminga, being a business guy and understanding the salary cap, understanding what the space looks like, the financial space looks like for teams, how the salary cap works, it's a completely different skill set from being a ball player. And you're right. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him, quite literally. Literally and figuratively, the buck does stop with Jonathan Kuminga. But the problem is, one, he's 23 years old. And while he is a millionaire, he doesn't have a quote-unquote real job, if that makes any sense. He doesn't have a real job. He plays basketball for a living. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm the last person, and I just roll my eyes when I hear, shut up and play basketball. You should be grateful for any money you get to play basketball. Shut the hell up, dude. These guys have an incredibly specialized skill. It is one of the most difficult leagues in the world to make. You have to be incredibly skilled, and you're very specialized. And when you are very specialized, you should get paid for that. And by the way, you don't want them to pay? Okay, that's fine. Then lower ticket prices. Guess what? That's not happening. Well, I always get so frustrated. I'm going off topic here, but I always get so frustrated when I hear about people online saying, you play sports for a living, you should be happy with whatever you get. And yet, you don't have that same energy for the billionaires who are raking the fans over the coals and maximizing dollars and profits, and somehow you think that's okay. Where's that same energy when we're talking about ticket prices? Where's that same energy when we're talking about billionaires not wanting to spend to have a competitive team? I'll tell you what the real problem is when we talk about this. If I was the ruler of the world for one day, I would make it mandatory that these billionaire team owners, they have to report their earnings every month. Like in a big way. Like you can't just be... See, that's the problem. When you think about it, the reporting is always about the player and the money. Right? Player and money. Imagine if the billionaires, if the owners, every single month had to relay how much money they made. We made this much money this month. We made $50 million this month. And the tone and tenor of that conversation would change in a heartbeat. The fact that these owners don't have to they never have to tell you how much money they make. Never. That is why people get mad online about how much money these athletes make. That is the sole reason why people get mad about how much money these athletes make, because you literally never hear about how much the billionaires make. Because if you saw that number, I promise you'd be a hell of a lot more pissed off at the owners than you are at the players. It is a dearth of information. It's an imbalance in terms of how much information you are getting from one side to the other. That's a tangent. Going back to Jonathan Kuminga. Should the blame be placed on him? Yes. How much of that blame? Well, that's up for debate. And for me, when you have a financial advisor that is one of the worst in the business, I am going to say, and because again, this isn't just, hey, he took $10 million versus $12 million. He took $10 million. He took $8 million from the T-Wolves, and he could have made $10 million with the Lakers. No. We're talking generational wealth because he completely gave up his bird rights. We're talking potentially tens of millions of dollars. We're talking potentially maybe $100 million depending on how all the stats and all that contract stuff goes. That's what we're talking about. Now, of that, how much should we parse that blame to Jonathan Kuminga? I think that's a very fair question. Incredibly fair question. He's a 23-year-old basketball player, man, whose financial literacy is probably pretty dang low. And he is relying on and depending on his agent to take him home, man. His agent has a fiduciary duty to take care of Jonathan Kuminga. It's literally his job to financially take care of his client. Literally his job. And he is not doing that. It's one of the worst bag fumbles I've ever seen. And because it is one of the worst I've ever seen, and because he has a history of doing it with other players as well, he should be called out and dragged through the coals because of it. That's why I'm talking about, and that is why I am putting all the blame at the feet of Aaron Turner. So, listen, at this time next year, 8 months from now, if in 8 months from now, Jonathan Kuminga is balling, he's dropping 30 and 10 a night, and the guy's just going to go, and Minnesota has no choice but to re-sign him to a max deal, I will absolutely come on here and eat my crow, man. I will own it. That's what I do. I will absolutely own it. I'm not going to be like one of them dudes that just says, well, hey, things happen. No. I will 100% own it. I am so confident, like 99.99% confident, that will not happen because of the roster construction in Minnesota and because of the financial realities of the NBA currently. You have no idea how confident I am in that. Like, insanely confident. I am insanely confident in my ball knowledge. Can I just say that? I am incredibly confident in knowing ball. Like, I know ball. That's what I'm confident in. And by the way, I also know like a little bit of finances too. Like I said, I don't have no agent, man. I grew up in a small business household. Listen, bro, I've got some financial literacy now. You see what I'm saying? I'm damn good at this job. Let me tell you something. I'm also damn good at running my own stuff too, man. I get it. I understand. And man, when I see Jonathan Kuminga right now, I see a guy who's being absolutely led astray. It's tough. Hey, let's step away. When we come back, it's all Dodgers. We're going all Dodgers for the rest of the hour here, and we'll see where we go from there. You're going to hear from Dave Roberts on the backside of the break. Dave Roberts reacting to the third straight consecutive one-run loss by the Dodgers. That's coming up next. Evening, we're taking you all the way to the 10 o'clock hour. Dodgers fall 1-0 to the Atlanta Braves. They got swept out. They are now a scary 2-14.
Hey, yo, what the
2-14 against Atlanta, Milwaukee, Arizona, Chicago, and Boston over the last 30 days. They got swept by Boston. They got swept by Chicago. Now they have been swept by Atlanta. And they lost 3 of 4 to Milwaukee.
Oh, no.
None of that sounds good at all. Oh, man. If you go back further, the Dodgers are 6-16 against winning teams since the All-Star break. Not good, man. Not good. I'm not going to... Look. I know my coverage of the Dodgers right now sounds very, oh my God, he's so negative. He's so negative. And I'm not trying to say that the sky is falling, but hey, listen, is it at least fair? If y'all are hating, if you agree, great. Welcome. But if you're hating on me, can we all at least agree that given the talent on this roster, given the money that is being paid for this roster, that you would anticipate and that you should expect the Dodgers to be better than 6-16 against all winning ball clubs since the All-Star break? I think we can all agree on that. Like, set the expectations. The expectation should be not that you should be 6-16, you should be 16-6, right? Like, I think that should be the expectation. Again, maybe I'm going too far, but can we at least say of those? Okay, 6-16, that's 22 games. 11-11 would be 500, right? Can we at least say they should have a winning record against all teams above 500? It's one of the most expensive rosters in existence. They have it's a literal Avengers pitching staff. I don't know who's Iron Man. I don't know who's Hulk. I don't know who's Captain America. But that is what they got. I mean, they have literal all-stars that are going to be, they have all-star starting pitchers who are going to go into the bullpen. Justin Robleski's going straight to the bully. He's coming back from his injury straight to the bully. You don't even have a chance to compete. Think about how crazy that is. Think about that for 1 second. The Avengers starting pitching staff that the Dodgers have compiled, multiple Cy Young guys, multiple Cy Young level pitchers on here. It's so good that Justin Robleski, who was an all-star this year, will not even have an opportunity to compete for a starting position in this lineup. That's crazy, man. That is insane. No chance. It's like, yeah, hey man, you're an all-star this year, but you're not even remotely good enough to crack this starting rotation. And you know it, I know it, everyone knows it. We're just sending you straight to the bullpen. Wild. Honestly, when you put it that way, it's like, that's incredible. So again, that's the pitching staff you have. And you are 6-16 against all winning ball clubs since July or since the All-Star break, man. Golly. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying, come on, man. The expectations should be, you got to hold yourself to a higher standard, right? I mean, and that's all I'm doing. I'm holding the Dodgers to a realistic standard. Not even that high. I'm saying realistic. I'm not saying they got to go out there and just destroy these teams. They should be undefeated. They need to be scoring 10 runs a night. That's not what I'm saying. But I mean, come on, bro. This lineup should be good enough where they're forcing a 37-year-old pitcher. I don't think that a 37-year-old pitcher. I know Chris Sale's awesome and he's good, future Hall of Fame. Okay, cool, man. But, like, should a 37-year-old starting pitcher just be mowing down this lineup? Complete game shutout? 11 strikeouts in 9 innings? Come on, man. Come on. Dodger fans, you got to expect more. You got to expect more. Okay. All right, that being said, I am curious. I haven't heard the sound yet, so I am curious to see and hear what Dave Roberts had to say post-game. This is from Sportsnet LA.
Dave, you knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel tonight. What did you see from Yoshinobu as well as Chris Sale as they really went toe-to-toe tonight?
They went toe-to-toe. I thought Yoshi was great. Obviously, first pitch of the game, split, get a strike, and Baldwin hits a homer, and that's all they did to threaten, and that's baseball. But I think total body of work, Yoshi was fantastic. And just tonight, we ran into a buzzsaw. Chris Sale, I don't think he won he lost his last 3 decisions, and so he brought it tonight, and you can see the velocity, the slider, everything was working tonight, so he really couldn't threaten tonight. So it's just one of those games, but obviously, you get swept, so it stings a little bit more on the back end of losing 3 in a row. But it's baseball, and it's one of those things where, as I was thinking about it tonight, it's, the game tests you. And I think that this is one of those things that August is that third leg of a mile, and it's the hardest leg. And, we got to, get through it and grind. And there's a new series, a new team. We got Scuba going tomorrow. We just got to flush it. I wish we'd played better. I wish we'd have won the game. I wish we'd won the series. It didn't happen. But right now, there's nothing we can do but just go out there and keep trying to get better and win a baseball game. So it's going to be a quick turnaround. And like I said, we got to flush it and move on.
What significance should we give to a sweep by another playoff team?
Well, I think that you can see that, how they were playing prior to us, they brought it. I think offensively you could see the intensity. On the pitching side, you could see the intensity. And they were fighting for their lives. We're still all kind of jockeying for a position in the postseason. And, they brought that effort, that energy. And, I don't think, like I said before the series, regardless of how this series goes, it's not a tell on what's going to happen in the postseason. But they're a good ball club. And it's a team that, there's a chance we're going to see them again. And that's the intensity that they're going to bring, and we got to be ready for it.
They were 3 one-run games. Did the series feel that close?
It just seemed like, it didn't, and obviously the scoreboard read that we lost 3 games by 1 run, but we just never took a lead, and it seemed like we were always chasing. And so that's something where, it's hard to play from behind. Your margins are much thinner, smaller, and when you don't capitalize on opportunities, then you come up on the short end. But like I said, they're a good ball club. They do things the right way, and we'll look forward to seeing them in October.
Probably kind of feels like the second or third time in the last couple months where you guys put together a good week and then maybe take a step backwards. How difficult is that to just kind of navigate as you go through a year? How do you keep from letting frustration build after this kind of series coming off the week you guys just had?
Well, I think it just goes back to you just got to persevere. We got a good ball club. We've been through this before. Yeah, we win 6 in a row. You feel like you've got some traction. You've got some good things going, and then you get smacked in the face and you lose 3. But I do think that, you hear the word resilience a lot. I do think our guys are resilient, and we didn't lay down. I like the at-bats, the fight. It just didn't happen. This guy was really good tonight. But now, we got the Tigers, who are kind of their last kind of fight to the end, and you got a team that we don't know very well. But, I expect us to come out and follow Tarek's fire, which he will have tomorrow night, and feed off of that. But, again, it's, all facets of the game. We got to catch it. We got to pitch it. We got to take good at-bats and then, see what happens.
All right, so there was Dave Roberts there. I'm going to say he sounds surprisingly calm.
Yeah.
He didn't sound pissed at all about it, and he didn't sound too upset. I mean, that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but that is his managerial style. He's very even keel. I don't think he ever, his highs are never too high, his lows are never too low. So, look, I think that's good for the guys. And obviously, look, I mean, they've won back-to-back championships. They've won 3, in the last 5 years. So Dave Roberts is doing his thing, keeping it very even keel. That's going to rub some fans the wrong way. You'd like to see a little bit more fire. Some fans would say that, I think, right? But again, this is his managerial style. Okay, we're going to hear from Mookie Betts in just 1 second here. But that being said, man, I want to shout out the chat because they're going nuts right now, which is great. David 100 with a great call. Hoser G Raider Nation. He called in yesterday and is in the chat. There's a couple new names in here. Aloha Life. Aloha Life. I want to see the comment here was horrible series. You have many opportunities to win, but failed. Come on. Pretty good. I agree with that. 100%. So, again, the chats are going crazy right now, which is great, and I appreciate everyone jumping in there and chiming in. Okay, this was Mookie Betts' post-game. He actually had a pretty decent day today, going 2 for 4. Take a listen.
It's clear that Chris Sale was dialed in from the beginning. You were able to get 2 knocks off of him. What were you seeing from him tonight, just in general?
I mean, everything, yeah, he pitched a great game. I mean, yeah, he did his thing. I mean, it sucks being on this side. I've been on the other side seeing it, so I know it's pretty cool from their perspective. But from us, sometimes there's nothing really you can do. He's feeling good, throwing strikes. I mean, as he always does, throw strikes. And tried to scratch across one, but it's just hard to do.
You had the best at bats. You got results off of him. How were you able to, compete and be able to do something off of him tonight?
I'm feeling a little bit better. So, like I said, I was able to turn on the compete mode and go grind something out to try and get us one. So I'm feeling a bit better. Hopefully we can ride it into tomorrow.
On that flare down the left field line, third base was vacant. Like, what are you looking at right there as far as making that decision to stay at second or try to outrun somebody to get to that?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, when you're running, there's just a lot. I mean, I thought I saw Sale start to go to third base, and so that's kind of why I stopped, and there was no outs. And, I was reading the throw, trying to see where Sale was, trying to see where everybody was. It was just a lot to take in a really, really short amount of time, and didn't want to make a dumb out on the base pass, especially with Sale pitching, so it's hard enough to get guys on base, and so maybe I could have made it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry in that situation.
Is there a consistent through line you've been able to see from the offense the last couple of months, or is the night like tonight just one of those where Sale had it and you guys just didn't have an answer?
I mean, Sale had it, and we didn't have much of an answer today. I mean, he was CG. I mean, he had it. So, I mean, we scored runs. We've been able to score runs, and we may not score 10 a night, but we're scoring runs and giving ourselves a chance to win games. We just got to figure out another ways to win, and maybe push a couple more runs across and whatnot. But I feel like we've done a decent job in at least giving ourselves a chance.
So Mookie Betts 2 of 4 from the dish tonight, and very quietly he is really coming around. And look, I know it doesn't feel like that because of all these losses to the good teams, but at the end of the day, if we're looking over his last 15 games, dating back now here to mid-August, August 10th. So his last 15 games, Mookie Betts has come around. Listen, he's hitting 281 over his last 15 games. He's got 3 home runs over his last 15 games, 11 RBIs. Oh, hit that again because he is on fire. 100% for sure. Dude, he's got an 840 OPS. Come on, Mookie Betts over his last 15 games, like legitimately heating up. Here's the thing. When I say he's got 3 home runs over his last 15 games, just to give you an idea, that's a 32 home run pace. He's got 11 RBIs. He's got 11 RBIs over his last 15 games. That's a 118 RBI pace. So again, we're talking about over the last couple of weeks here. Mookie Betts has definitely brought it, in his words. He's brought it. I'm interested to see if that can be sustained as we go into October. All right, you're going to hear from Yoshi Yamamoto after the break. You're listening to the James Coe Show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports.
entering the Co-Zone.
You're entering the Co-Zone, the Co-Zone, the Co-Zone.
There it is. That'll wake you up.
The Co-Zone.
Oh man. It's just so funny how that's become like its own little inside joke, man. You know? Like, I don't hate the drop, but I will say, when, you know, there was a point in time when we were playing that, like, I don't know, like twice an hour, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. I do not want to enter the Co-Zone twice an hour, bro. Like, well, that's not what I want to do.
Originally, when I took over to enter the Co-Zone nightly.
Yes.
They didn't give me much to work with as far as coming back from break. So
the only time I've directed Peyton like on drops, I'm like, dog, listen, dude, do not take me into the Co-Zone every hour, bro. Once a night. That's it. That's all we got. Okay. Anyways. Man, I forgot even where we were going. Oh, you know, hey, listen. Okay. So again, the Dodgers here, you know, they drop 3 games in a row. You're tired of hearing me say that. If you're just joining the program here, Shohei Ohtani and Tommy Edman 0 for 7 at the top of the lineup. Edman sat into that 2-hole again. The 2-hole numbers are insane, bro. When I checked last night, the Dodgers, again, when you just take everyone who has ever hit out of the 2-hole for the Dodgers, when compared to the rest of the majors, have the statistically worst, one of the worst, arguably the worst 2-hole hitter in all of the majors. They rank dead last in OPS out of the 2-hole when compared to every other Major League Baseball club. And the curse of the 2-hole has now taken on a life of its own. Hat tip, obviously, to Bill Reiter, who put in a lot of work to try to figure this one out. This is like a Bill Reiter, James Coe tag team type of situation here.
I kind of like thought it was kind of funny to start. You know, I was like, oh, the 2-hole thing, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And
now it's a real thing, though.
Yeah.
It is a real thing.
It's almost getting to the point where if Dave Roberts puts out the lineup, you know, on the back of the dugout or in the clubhouse before the game, if someone sees their name next to a 2,
you're like, no!
Like, God dang it.
Come on! Come on! It's so true.
Come on!
It's so true. Tommy Edman today, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, dude! Oh, not good. Not
Número 3.
Not what you want to see. Freddie Freeman was 1 for 4. Teoscar 0 for 4. Miggy Rojas 1 for 4. Call 0 for 3. Yeah, man. The Dodgers are legitimately running out of bodies. Dalton Rushing probably done for the rest of the year. I can't imagine him. I mean, he'll get in there on some, you know, random pinch hit opportunities, but he's essentially done. Will Smith is coming back pretty soon, so that's good. The pitching staff is obviously the strength of this team right now. But then, it's like what I said yesterday, and I truly believe this. When you're talking about just the setup man closer combo, tell me the Dodgers don't have the worst setup closer combo in the majors right now. Between Edwin Diaz and Tanner Scott, that's the worst setup closer combo in the majors right now. Oh no. Listen, like I said, Timmy Trumpets, you blocked. Nope, you blocked. And as a matter of fact, the Dodgers even said, Timmy Trumpets, you blocked. Because they're putting Edwin Diaz in the setup role. Which, you know, hey, listen, when you're in the setup, you don't get no walkout music, dog. When you're in the setup, you ain't got no walk-up music, bro. So even the Dodgers said, Blaster Jacks, you blocked. They said, Narcos, you're blocked. Yeah. They are blocked. They're blocked from this show. By the way, I want it to be known, I was the first show to block Timmy Trumpets. And the Dodgers quickly followed suit. Just FYI. Okay? We went on this program and said, Timmy Trumpets, you're blocked. And the Dodgers heard that and said, you know what? I think this James Coe guy is onto something. We can't be hearing no Timmy Trumpets blasting through Dodger Stadium. No. You're blocked, Timmy. Edwin Diaz, you're going to the 8th inning. You're in the setup role. But after back-to-back, this is the point I made yesterday. After back-to-back losses, after back-to-back, from Tanner Scott, a guy who blew 10 saves last year, after that debacle, I don't know why, I felt like I was here. I was like, by God, is that Edwin Diaz's music? I don't think so, though. I'm hoping it's not. Okay, Sportsnet LA, it was, an absolutely beautiful outing from the Dodger pitching staff. As a staff, they threw 8 innings of 1-run ball, just 4 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Man, as a staff, they were incredible. Again, by the way, 8 innings, 5 base runners, right? That's the exact same as Chris Sale. 11 strikeouts for the staff. For the Dodgers, 11 strikeouts for Chris Sale. They were matching him pitch for pitch, batter for batter. It's crazy. Yoshinobu Yamamoto speaking with the media via Sportsnet LA.
That first pitch of the game that got you, what was it like going toe-to-toe with Chris Sale tonight?
最初の初球打たれたあそこがポイントだったんですけども、その中でクリスセール投手と投げ合うっていうのはどういう感じでしたか？
先制点だったり、なんていうんだろうな、そういったのはすごく大切になるなというのは、すごく意識してましたし、集中して試合には入りましたけど、初球をちょっと、甘くいったところを、いきなり、ホームラン打たれたので、すごく悔しいポイントになりました。
Yeah, because I know because he was going to be kind of neck and neck game, and he's a great pitcher, so I have to focus on my execution. Then, however, the first pitch it kind of got away from me.
It's clear you made that adjustment very quickly after the first batter. How do you adjust, and how are you just navigating through a lineup when there's no room for error, but also when you know it's a pitcher's duel?
ゲーム全体通して1球の後、すごくうまくアジャスト調整できたと思うんですけども、その中で全体のその打線を相手にするにあたってどういう意識でしたか？
やっぱりすごくいい打線でしたし、チーム全体もすごく状態がいいのも分かってたので、気を引き締めて一人ずつ、投げていきました。
Yeah, because it's a great lineup. I knew that, so I just have to stay sharp the whole game.
There was Yoshi Yamamoto post game. Just a truly unbelievable effort from Yoshi. He just got edged out by Chris Sale, who put together one of the all-time great performances. Complete game shutout, allowing 5 hits. No earned runs, 11 strikeouts through 9 innings. Incredible performance. Yeah, man, that's tough.
Yoshi ended up throwing a scoreless game as well, basically.
He gave off a leadoff home run, and then that was it. First pitch.
He threw one over the fence.
That's it. And then after that, clean.
A get-me-over splitter that actually was the lower half of the zone, and Drake Baldwin just pulls it over the fence, and that was it.
Crazy clean. Oof. Crazy clean. Yeah, that was good stuff. It feels like a very much of a wasted opportunity, man. I want to transition here to football. I don't know if you guys had seen the latest here from Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs could be in quite a bit of trouble here. But there's some kind of darker forces going on. And we have talked about, and I think, listen, I'm not breaking any ground here, man, but sometimes these athletes get protected by local police. And I don't want to say that's what happened, but man, when you read the details of what went down here with Josh Jacobs, it doesn't look good for Josh, and I actually think it looks even worse for police. And let me explain. So today, Josh Jacobs finally got charged with misdemeanors. 2 misdemeanors, not felonies, misdemeanors for battery, misdemeanor battery, and misdemeanor criminal damage to property. According to Wisconsin court records, the formal charges came 3 months after he was arrested following an alleged domestic violence incident at his home near Green Bay. Again, a Green Bay Packer at his home near Green Bay got stopped by police in an alleged domestic violence dispute. And apparently there is video of it. We haven't seen it yet, but there is video of it. The details of the alleged misdemeanor battery and criminal damage doesn't sound good, let me tell you. This is Josh Jacobs' girlfriend. I guess she was going through his phone, saw some other girls in there, got PO'd and threw his phone. So Josh Jacobs responds by taking the girl's phone, blah, 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 blah. Hey, listen, they're going back and forth. Okay, now the argument is escalating, okay? But at some point, the complaint says, the legal documents say that the woman was trying to exit Josh Jacobs' garage when he grabbed her and threw her to the ground. This is where she hit her head. And the police report says that they determined that she did actually have a bump on her head. There's also body cam footage. There's also surveillance footage from the Jacobs home as well. And I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I think there might be surveillance video from neighbors as well. Now, as we know, Jacobs, if he is found guilty of domestic violence, faces a minimum of a 6-game suspension, maybe longer, maybe more, right? So right now, he was charged again. This is 3 months after the incident. Remember, he's a Green Bay Packer. This happened near Green Bay. And police have all kinds of video about it. They've got the criminal complaint over it, okay? And the charges have taken 3 months for some reason. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's normal out there. I'll reserve judgment on that, but it certainly seems like it's a little bit of a long time. And now, again, remember, if it's domestic violence, it is a minimum of 6 games. This is why Josh Jacobs' attorneys came out with this statement. Quote, "The Brown County DA has reviewed evidence and elected to file misdemeanor charges against Josh that do not include domestic violence. The allegations will be addressed in court and not in the media. Mr. Jacobs respects the DA's office and process it follows." Obviously, he respects the hell out of it, because this thing could have been a dang near, again, a domestic violence. It could have been a felony. Nope. Green Bay area police investigating a Green Bay Packer near his Green Bay home determined that it's going to be a misdemeanor. If that does not scream shadiness, I don't know what does. And by the way, if you don't think that the lawyers understand the suspension system in the NFL, why in the hell do you think they specifically mentioned that it is not domestic violence. By the way, I don't know about y'all. And again, I don't know what the true legal definition of domestic violence is in Wisconsin. But bro, if you are at your house with your girl, with your significant other, you lay hands on her, throw her on the ground, and the police confirm that there were injuries, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm very confused. Dog, how is that not domestic violence? It is violence at your domestic home. It is domestic violence. I mean, bro, am I tripping? I love that the lawyer is like, guys, this is not, I want to repeat myself. This was not domestic violence. Forget the fact that there was violence and forget the fact that it was at a domestic home. Wasn't domestic violence. All right, bro, chill, dude. I understand that you're carrying water for your client. I get it. I understand. That makes sense. But also, I am curious, man. Like, is this video going to be released? By the way, it'd be very curious. They probably don't have to. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the FOIA laws are in Wisconsin. Something tells me it's not going to be that strong. But I'm just saying, man, like, if it's truly not a big deal, release the footage. If it's truly not a big deal, how much you want to bet they're not going to release the footage, though? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like, this to me screams small town justice where the cops are in on it. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, again, I don't want to go so far as to say that, but I'm just saying the optics of it are just horrific. The optics are so bad. I don't know, man. By the way, again, I mean, just bringing it back to the entire sports world, like making it more about sports. Like Marshawn Lloyd, they've been giving a lot of work to. This is also a player in Josh Jacobs that has been one of the most worked running backs over the last 4 years in the NFL. Listen, not necessarily CMC territory here, okay? But, man, he has gotten a lot of work. So maybe there's a little bit of a breakdown, too. I don't know, man. I think it's just a really crappy situation overall. But all of it stinks. And the law enforcement side of it, to me, really stinks. And that something don't seem right. Something don't seem right in that situation at all. I mean, again, the fact that they are just sitting there trying to tell you, man, like, hey, this is not domestic violence. Again, that's none of that seems good. None of that seems good at all. 855-97-LA-FAN. 855-97-LA-FAN. Or if you want to be part of the YouTube chat, very active tonight at The Fan LA. Okay, we step away. When we come back, it's more of the James Coe Show right here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Welcome back, everybody. I tell you what, I really like alert booty as well. That's my favorite, is when you have, double can alert booty. That's my fave. Okay. Hey, listen, we're running out of time over here. We got 30 minutes left in the show. If you want to call in, 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN if you'd like to chop it up with your boy James Coe. Okay, let's talk about your top NFL or your top football headlines in Cover 3.
Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go. We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party.
It's time for the Cover 3.
All right, Double P, hit me with that Cover 3.
Dang, I mean, the Gleam is pretty good.
The Gleam, boys.
But Alert Booty, it's no match for Alert Booty.
No, absolutely not. You need to have that Alert Booty for sure.
I definitely need to incorporate some
Alert Booty. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Right.
We start out with Josh Allen talking a little bit about the grass versus turf, because I believe in Buffalo now, they got grass.
Okay. Wait, do they?
Grass is healthier for our bodies. I'm to a point in my career now that when we practice inside on the artificial, I can feel it the next day. And when we go out there, I feel great, and I think any guy that was honest would tell you that's how they feel. So one, I think it's healthier, injury prevention. I've gotten numerous burns on my legs from artificial turf, like to the point where I can't sleep at night because it's bubbling over, and it's very painful. So I'm excited to not have to deal with that at home, at least. I know we still probably will play games on the road that are turf, but if I can snap my fingers and make every field grass, that's what I would do.
I don't know. For me, it's just, this is all about, again, the NFL owner's greed. It doesn't cost that much more to maintain natural grass. Everyone likes it. I mean, first of all, let me just say this. It also looks better. I think like, when just a visual standpoint, like as a fan, I think it always looks better on a natural grass surface. It's like, it feels like a real game,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, to me, it's just so annoying that why do the players have to even fight for this? By the way, this is going to be a talking point during the CBA negotiations, which is so stupid. Instead of like fighting for more money, they're going to have to actually fight for the stupid artificial grass. Like, that's so dumb to me. It's just so stupid and dumb to me. I really don't understand it. Just make everything grass. Like, even the practice fields, like Josh is saying, like, and again, by the way, this is backed by science. Like, there's good amount of research saying that yes, you do suffer more injuries, no matter how slight it is, even if it's just a few percentage points. You do get more injured on artificial surfaces unless you listen to like the studies like funded by artificial surfaces, right? But like, independent research has shown that natural grass does have a lower injury rate. And not only do they have a lower injury rate, I believe independent studies have shown that the severity of the injuries is also less. So I don't know, man. Like, to me, it's just, this all just comes down to greed. Like, the owners don't want to pay for it for no reason. I don't get it.
There's also some common sense involved. I mean, I feel like the grass is just naturally softer than landing on the turf.
Of course it is.
There's black mat under the turf.
That's the other thing, man. Like, I don't know if you guys have kids, or maybe you yourself, you're listening, you play like soccer or something, and you play on that, the artificial stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, doesn't it kind of trips you out a little, man? Like, where you have big scrapes on your leg and you got some of that like ground up tire dust just going right in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, it just feels a little, it feels a little weird. Like, I get it. That's part of youth sports, but dude, it's just a little odd.
The Bills transition from artificial turf to a natural Kentucky bluegrass surface at the new Highmark Stadium.
I like it.
All right, we move on to the NFL, which has eliminated now Pro Bowl games. The focus now will shift to celebrating the honor of a Pro Bowl selection.
I absolutely love the fact that Shedeur Sanders, he was the breaking point. I mean, I understand that it's been a declining thing. Like, people don't like it. And once they moved off of Hawaii, players were even less motivated to go. Like, hey, listen, no shade to Orlando, but come on, bro. Like, if I'm taking my family, like, on an all expenses paid trip, Where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Hawaii or do I want to go to Orlando? Come on now. And so they took it away from Hawaii, which I also don't understand. Like, hey, listen, keep it in Hawaii, make it fun. And then they made it flag football. That made it even less appealing. I actually like the random like accuracy, like the throwing accuracy games. That part of that stuff, like, I don't know. Like, it's sad because the Pro Bowl, even though like a lot of people didn't watch it, some people did, and it was kind of fun to see some of the highlights and stuff, man. But I understand why it goes away. But we've had some really, really, really bad quarterbacks play in the Pro Bowl, though. So I understand. And, like, the NFL definitely kind of sort of killed it themselves. So, I don't know.
You mentioned Shedeur. I mean, don't forget about Snoop Huntley.
Oh, my gosh, that's right. Tyler Huntley also made the Pro Bowl. By the way, Shedeur, dude, come on, man. Like, the guy had 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions last year.
Yeah.
7 TDs, 10 interceptions, Pro Bowler.
Gotta be. I mean, he has to be.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. They're moving to a format where it's just 88 players straight away, no alternates. Like, no alternates is big. So it will. The funny thing is, the game goes away, and all of the pomp and circumstance surrounding it goes away, which I don't think anyone's going to really miss. But I think it will also just make Pro Bowls more meaningful.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to make all pro. You could be a Pro Bowler, which is it's obviously a lot easier to do that than to be an all-pro. And yeah, being a Pro Bowler will actually start to mean something. So, I don't know. In this one particular case, I don't know, man. I think this is a win for the league.
It's starting to mean something, and it also got to the point a little bit, especially last year, where some guys were selected as Pro Bowlers, and then it got to the point where the guys who were selected were sitting there like, oh, man, dang it, I got to go play in the Pro Bowl? That stinks.
I know. That sucks, right? Like, you don't want that. And,
no.
And the fact that, again, it's like, hey, it's in Orlando. You know?
Yeah. They're all in some shorts and a really tight T-shirt and put a flag on.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like Thanksgiving morning.
It's, again, no one's going to miss it.
No.
I will miss some of the smaller things about it. Like, I thought the pass accuracy stuff was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
If they could figure out, like, I think they had, like, kicking competitions and stuff like that. I think that's fun. I don't know. It's just, but yeah, the game itself, no one's going to miss.
Well, Amon-Ra St. Brown goes on the Green Light podcast
with
Chris Long and says that talks a little bit about edge rushers, and don't forget about his teammate Hutchinson.
I told Hutch, I think edge rusher is the easiest position in football. I think it is.
F you, man.
I really think it is.
But the money's out of whack because they're still paying us.
All you gotta do is make one play a game.
Yeah, but you know what? So much of it is out of our control, though.
What is?
If
a cover sack? If like the DBs play well? Oh, there's a sack, dog. Here's $50 million. Like, what the? Or the quarterback's just f***ing off in the like.
Yeah. He's just jerking the ball up?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, you get one sack a game.
First of all, what a wild take that is from Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And by the way, he goes on the Green Light Pod with my friend Chris Long, who, by the way, is like one of the nicest humans you'll ever meet. But like, Chris Long was a longtime Ram and also like a great edge rusher, like a true pass rushing specialist. Like, he was really good at rushing the passer. And I love that Amon-Ra St. Brown goes on to that dude's podcast, no F's given, and is like, you know what? Edge rushers, the most overrated position in all of football. That's crazy, dude. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think the funny thing is, and they go on to talk about how there's no like plays drawn up for DN, so you just got to go out there and do it. But I don't know, like, you have to be a phenomenal athlete, and you do have to have technique. I mean, you can't just go out there and bull rush a guy. Like, you have to have swim moves. You got to have like those uppercut moves, and you got to get skinny in the whole, like, I don't know, man. Like, I disagree. I disagree with Amon-Ra St. Brown. It is funny. He is right, though. Let me say this. He is right where if you just make one play a game,
one play,
that means you've got 17 sacks on the season, which means, dude, you are truly one of the highest paid players in the NFL. So actually, when you break it down that way, it's actually true.
Yeah.
You only got to make one play to get paid.
Here's $50 million.
Yeah, that part actually is true. But I disagree. A great defensive end, man. Like, not only are you great, like, the thing with Max Crosby, I don't think people understand how good he is in the run game. Like, he is an absolute stone-cold stopper in the run game as well. And you don't get paid to be a run stopper, but I tell you, that is a huge part of it. I go back to Jadeveon Clowney. Everyone says he was not worth the number 1 overall pick. And while that's probably true because he was never really a great sack guy, he's always been incredibly effective at stopping the run, which is why he has had such a long career. Pretty good at getting at the quarterback. Not great, but pretty darn good. But a really, really top-of-the-line run stuffer as well. So, I don't know. I hear what Amon-Ra is saying, but I also disagree, man. But wow, what a great bit and segment that was on the Greenlight Pod.
So good. All right, let's cover 4. Why not?
Hell yeah.
I mean, they have that play in Madden all the time.
Yes.
I usually click that, and then I shift all my players forward towards the line. There you go. That's my Madden strategy.
Perfect.
Azillion Hamilton picks off Zach Wilson. I got the highlight right here for us.
Let's go.
The throw goes right in. It's picked. Intercepted at midfield. The Rams get a takeaway with A.Z. Hamilton.
So goes by AZ. By the way, that's the great JB Long on the call, who we talked to earlier today. But dude, his name, they call him AZ Hamilton, but dude, he goes by, or his full name is Azillion. It's AZ apostrophe Zillion. That's one of the best names of all time. Azillion? Dude, that is so cool. What a cool name. Azillion? I mean, not a million, not a billion, a zillion.
Yeah, how many is that?
That's not a real word, by the way.
Yeah, but
zillion's not a real number. But
thanks.
Yeah, but that being said, like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Azillion Hamilton. By the way, he picks off Zach Wilson. Yes, that's Zach Wilson. I can't believe Zach Wilson is still in the league. He is somehow the third-string quarterback for New Orleans. I know you were keeping up with Zach Wilson. But Zach Wilson right now fighting for a roster spot after being a top 5 selection for the Jets not that long ago. That's crazy, dude. Fighting for a roster spot right now. He is the third string quarterback for New Orleans. Again, Tyler Shuck. You got Spencer Rattler. Both of these guys not first round draft picks. And Zach Wilson.
You say top 5, by the way, Zach Wilson?
I think he was top 5, yeah.
He was second overall.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's a crazy pick.
That's an absolutely insane pick. And I am not the only person that saw him play and said, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why would you take this guy second overall? He's just out there at BYU throwing prayer balls downfield, and they're getting caught. Like, no one... Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, no one I knew thought that Zach Wilson was a good processor. He had a good arm strength, and that was about it. But he was like the Mormon Johnny Manziel, dude.
Yeah.
All he would do is just throw prayer balls up, and, like, they would get caught. He had one good magical season, and somehow, of course it's the Jets. Of course it's the Jets. The Jets are like, yeah, we got to get that guy in the building. What are we doing?
It kind of reminded me a little bit of just J.J. McCarthy getting drafted.
Yeah.
And I know 10 is a lot less scary than 2.
I know.
But when you think of busts of at least my generation,
yeah,
I really think Zach Wilson is, like, really up there.
It's because he is, not only was he bad, he was literally one of the worst quarterbacks of all time. Like, that's the difference, is that he was not just bad, but incredibly bad. Like, statistically, one of the worst quarterbacks of all time. It's him and Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman was one of the worst quarterbacks of all time as well. Right there with Zach Wilson. Anyways, let's step away. When we come back, we will close out the show. Man, I don't know if you guys seen this controversy from internet comedian Drewski. It's a wild, wild story. I'm going to share it with you after the break. What is cracking, Los Angeles? James Coe here with you, taking you all the way to the top of the hour here, the 10 o'clock hour, on a beautiful, gorgeous Thursday evening. I know it's a little humid for the folks out there. It's not humid in this air condition. Actually, it's a little cold in here.
It's always cold in here.
It's freezing in here, bro.
I always come in sweating, and then I'm like,
AC is pumping in here. It's actually quite nice because it is it is incredibly humid outside. But still, hey, listen, a bad night in LA is considered a great night anywhere else. You know, that's the way I see it. David 100, shout out to you. He says, great show tonight, boys. I appreciate you. I try to drop a little fantasy knowledge onto Hoser G, Raider Nation. He said he's got a big draft coming up, $100 buy-in. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a real coin right there.
That's some Jonathan Kuminga money right there.
I don't even think Jonathan Kuminga could afford to be in that league right now, bro. After all that money he got passed over on, bro.
Can we do 20?
He needs that $20 league, dude. He needs a $20 league, man. Guys, by the way, just random fantasy advice here. 3 guys that I am incredibly high on would be Ladd McConkey, who I've been talking up for a bit, Jalen Waddle teaming up with Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I mean, again, I just want you guys to think about Jalen Waddle out there, okay? He's got Sean Payton, right? This guy, Jalen Waddle, has a game that I think is an elevated Michael Thomas. For all my older football fans who remember Michael Thomas from New Orleans. But I am incredibly bullish on Jalen Waddle because the only guy ahead of him, not even ahead, but the only player that is a target getter for Denver is Courtland Sutton, whose game, quite frankly, is not aging well. Don't be surprised if Jalen Waddle, first of all, Jalen Waddle will be the number 1 target getter for Denver. But don't be surprised if he also plays a lot of X receiver and moves around the formation and gets a lot of downfield shots. Jalen Waddle is a certified great player after the catch as well. We just haven't been able to see it for the past couple of years with Tua Tagovailoa. Bo Nix is a tremendous step ahead of Tua as a decision maker and as a passer. So, yeah, man, better quarterback situation. I'm not trying to put Bo Nix in like the elite tier or anything, but he's a good, solid quarterback. Good, solid quarterback. And mostly, I just love the pairing of Jalen Waddle and Sean Payton. I think that's going to be magic, man. So, Ladd McConkey, Jalen Waddle, I think are primed for huge bump-ups in stats. And I'm also really, really high on Devontae Smith. The only problem is if you're in a standard redraft, you can't get them all. All those guys are going around each other. So Ladd, Waddle, and Devontae Smith are 3 wide receivers I'm really high on. If you're waiting on quarterback, for some reason, Trevor Lawrence is going really late. Trevor Lawrence is going, in a lot of spots, he's going after Dak Prescott. And the funny thing is, man, Trevor Lawrence is younger. He's an ascending player. And, dude, his stats last year were very similar to Dak's. And Dak, over the last 3 or 4 years, has been a little bit injury-prone. So I will wait for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence's value, I think, is better than Dak's. Although I will admit, because Dallas's defense is bad and Jacksonville's defense is actually good, Dak has a higher ceiling than Trevor, but I think if we're just looking at like a median outcome, I think they're about the same. So, one deep sleeper for y'all out there if you're getting ready for your draft, okay? One deep sleeper that you need, dude, should I even tell people what it is? Because I tell you what, man, I know my league mates right now, the Fan LA league mates, they might listen to me right now, and I'll tell you right now, dude, I might get upset if this guy goes. But you know what? I'm going to tell a fan. I'm going to let the people know. Hey, Adam Randall in Baltimore, he is the handcuff to draft, not Justice Hill. That's my take. It's a little bit of a hot take because Adam Randall isn't being drafted in most spots. But I'm telling you, if you are listening and you've got, 13th round pick, just go take Adam Randall because the upside is incredible. If Derrick Henry misses any time, I think Adam Randall just slides right in. 225 pounds, out of Clemson, converted wide receiver, so he's got some receiving chops. Man, he is smooth as all get. He is so smooth, but at 225 pounds, can also thump you. I am a big Adam Randall guy.
Oh, my goodness. On our chat, or not on our chat, but in our draft.
Yeah?
D-Mac just took Adam Randall.
No, he didn't. First of all, if he did, I would actually be happy because, oh my gosh, it's my turn to pick, bro.
You are on the clock.
Okay, I'm on the clock right now. I'd be actually be pretty happy because we're in the, what are we in, the 5th round? Are we in the 5th round, bro?
We are in the 5th.
Okay, so we're in the 5th round. So yeah, I'm not saying take Adam Randall in the 5th round, but when you get to like the 13th round, let's go take Adam Randall, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, man, we're getting close here to the end. I want to, this is the portion of the show where we just start doing weird stuff. Like this is like where the weird stuff comes out. And dude, one of the weirdest clips I have ever heard came out of the WNBA, where the WNBA refers to a group of players as young gardening tools from Washington. Take a listen.
Have the 2 top youngest teams in the W. And how about those young from Washington, as they like to be called? Yes, that is what they like to be called. Thank you to Lauren Betts on that one.
I am going to, look, I don't know who the play-by-play person is there for that WNBA game. We bleeped it out because I'm not 100% sure you could say that on air. Maybe you can, but dude, I'm not 100% sure. Again, it's a word for gardening equipment. If you wink, wink, if you know what I'm saying here. So this is a WNBA game, and she's saying like, hey, listen, like the players, they like to call themselves that. Young gardening tools from Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not breaking any ground here. You say a lot of stuff. You at home say a lot of stuff that is completely inappropriate for on air. I say a lot of stuff that is completely inappropriate for on air. I shouldn't have to tell you, you don't have to call the players the things that they call themselves, bro. Like, some of the stuff is just not appropriate for air. Like, again, I don't know if we can actually play that, but I bleeped it out because I'm not 100% sure you can play that. Here's a rule of thumb for all my young broadcasters out there. If you ever have a question of, can I say this or can I not say this, always err on the caution of not saying it. That was a absolutely bizarre moment. By the way, okay, listen, these players call themselves things that I know for a fact you cannot say. Some players call each other words that I, as an Asian American, cannot say. I can't say that. Just because they call themselves that doesn't mean I could call them that, dude. What are we doing out here? That was bizarre, bro. Okay, finally. I don't know if you guys have seen internet comedian. His name is Drewski. He's huge. He's got a huge following. Drewski, he came up with a CTE skit. And Double P, did you see this one, man?
I kind of like Drewski.
I like Drewski too, but this one was a little bit hard to watch.
Yeah, it's just too much.
And again, I'm torn on it, man. I'm torn on it, you know? A little bit hard to watch. But the caption on it was, athletes get concussions and lose their minds, with a laughing emoji. That's what the caption was. And this was some of it was AI generated, some of it was not. But basically, he's a running back. He takes a big hit, he gets into the fencing posture, he takes a huge hit. Almost, you know, it reminded me of like Antonio Brown. When Antonio Brown took that giant helmet-to-helmet hit and got into a fencing posture. Okay, so now Drewski's this running back. Then the next shot is again, him getting a concussion, going in an ambulance. He got a concussion. The next shot is him in a gold Ferrari or something, leading police on a chase. And I think that's using some AI video. Then he goes and he's doing weird stuff on IG where he's having like a, mental breakdown, and then he's cussing at the camera, that kind of stuff. Then it shows a fake ring video of him as this running back breaking into his girlfriend's house and assaulting her. Then he makes a bad hip-hop song. He goes onto a kick stream, which, by the way, is very brand accurate. He goes on a kick stream, not a Twitch stream, but kick, all of a sudden. It's like all these dudes who are like not good dudes end up on kick somehow. I don't get it. Okay, so he goes on a kick stream, and he's acting very rude and abusive to the women in his house. And again, all of this is because, and then he has a press conference at the end where he basically is like, yeah, I don't remember anything because, I got a lot of concussions. And then he ends up losing his stuff, right? And so that's the joke, right? Like, again, it kind of sort of loosely follows the Antonio Brown bit, right? Where he's a great player, gets a concussion, now he's in trouble with the law, now he's being a bad teammate, now he's acting all out like he's doing the hip-hop thing, which, by the way, Antonio Brown did. He released a hip-hop album, right? He's very verbally abusive to women. He was in that lawsuit. Again, it loosely follows kind of Antonio Brown's career, right? Loosely, very loosely. But man, it struck a nerve with a lot of athletes. And in particular, I thought TJ Ward probably had the best take in regards to the response to the Drewski bit.
It's a life-taking disease. And I think CTE universally is the only disease it's allowed to be made fun of, which is crazy. You wouldn't make fun of somebody with cancer. You wouldn't make fun of somebody with dementia. You wouldn't make fun of somebody with AIDS. You wouldn't make fun of anyone with these diseases that are taking lives. But for some reason, across the universal platform, whether it's social media, fans joking with us about we saying something they don't agree with, oh, that's the CTE talking. It's the only players, football players, people that have effects of collisions and CTE symptoms are the only people that are allowed to be made fun of.
I think it's a great take by former NFL safety TJ Ward, who played for Cleveland and the Denver Broncos for a long time. Was a really, really good player too, by the way. TJ Ward. It's such an interesting take, and there were funny bits in the Drewski part, but I would say overall the whole thing just made me really uncomfortable. And I think there will be some people who find the whole thing to be really funny, but I agree with what TJ Ward is saying there, where it's the only disease or it's the only medical condition that you can really just tee off on and make it a punchline. He's right. You can't make cancer a punchline. You can't take some of these things and make them punchlines the way that a lot of folks make CTE as a punchline. It's a good take, man. It's a really good take and really good insight, I think, from TJ Ward. I don't know how I feel about the Drewski CTE thing, man. I don't. I know a lot of people like it. I thought TJ Ward had the best take on it. So again, man, just a lot to unpack there, but I know I felt uneasy watching that Drewski bit. All right, man, we got to go. For my guy Double P, I'm James Coe. We're out of here, but remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams.
You've been listening to The James Coe Show.
For fantasy purposes,
on the new 97.1 The Fan.
His effectiveness in the intermediate area of the field, it's not close.
The voice of LA Sports. If you miss any of the show, listen back on the iHeart and Always free Odyssey app.